think it could possibly something to do with parasites. And so we went on some parasite cleanse, and a pretty strong one at that time. And so that ball in that mass in her stomach was actually a ball of dead parasites. You know, they're in pretty much every single human, is what we found. And, you know, some people, I'll bring it up, they're like, well, I feel okay. Well, that's because your immune system right now is good and it's fighting them off, and you're not becoming a better host for them. As we get sicker, right, and they start to take over, we become a much better host for them. They're there, I promise you. You have them.
Welcome back, everybody. This episode of Kloveyoubye, you're going to see me and Brandon getting really close to each other.
Awkwardly close.
Do you like it?
Do you?
I like it.
Yeah. It's all right.
We have some special guests for you guys today. Today we got next to us here Jake and Amy with NIP Fitness. Both of them have some pretty cool stories, and we're going to dive into a really crazy story. So with that being said, Jake, Amy, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Jake Prazak. My background is powerlifting. That's been my life for actually most of my life. And over the years, I did a lot of abuse to my body, physically wise, even mentally wise. And so when I retired from powerlifting, I wanted to heal myself. I wanted to feel the best I could mentally and physically. And so that's what I did. I traveled the United States, learning from the best people in the world in biohacking to healing your mind mentally and physically. And so I fixed my AFib. I developed AFib from powerlifting. And so when I kind of fixed myself from that, I became extremely passionate about helping so many other people. And so when I opened the gyms, NIP Fitness, one of my goals is that I teach our staff that 10 out of 10 people that walk through our door are suffering mentally or physically, or they're suffering both. Yeah. And so what we do is we try to get their lives back and heal them, whatever they're struggling with. Mm-hmm. And so when Amy, when we opened Clear Lake, she started working for us, and I could tell she was sick. She wasn't portraying she was sick, but I could tell. And so we started doing different things, trying to get her healed, getting her mentally and physically back to where she needed to be. And I got extremely confused because we could not figure her out. And she would have 2 or 3 good days and then bam, sick again. And over the last 3 years, I've just seen it slowly decline. I mean, day by day to where, I'll let her tell that part of the story, but I mean, deathly ill. Right. And it was very concerning. A lot of people were concerned. She was hiding it, and wasn't doing, we've had some pretty bad experiences at hospitals and different things, not bashing that, but, there was certain things that they couldn't find and do. And so, like I said, it got pretty lost. And so the story is right now is she's doing much, much better. And that's what we're going to dive into is what we ended up finding and, how it affected her, how it affected us, and what we're still doing. We're not 100% yet, but we're much closer of getting her overall health back to her. And so I'll let her tell her story a little bit and go into your background and where you're at right now, and then we'll dive into why.
I'm Amy Peckham. I work at NIP Fitness, and God, it's been such a crazy story. I don't even know when to start. I think
it's been a very
probably
crazy story.
When did the puking start? Like 4 years ago?
Yeah, you would, when you first started working, you would just be walking around and puke. Mm-hmm. And I was like, holy shit, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Just projectile puke.
There's just my special puking can, and I'd be like, go make a smoothie, go puke. And it wasn't like flu, it was just like I couldn't eat anything. And so I would try cutting out. I cut out gluten, I cut out dairy, I cut out all this stuff. My diet was perfect, and I was still just puking all the time. So that's when I started going to the doctor, and I went to stomach specialists, I went to endocrinologists, I went and had colonoscopies, I had scopes, and the endocrinologist sat there, and I have thyroid issues. That's kind of where it all started way back when. The endocrinologist looked at me and like, man, those are the worst thyroid numbers I've ever seen. Why don't we put you on an antidepressant? Okay, thanks. Let's not.
After you waited 3 months for that appointment.
Yeah, I waited 3 months for that appointment. She just looks at me and I said, okay, I won't be going back there. So then I started going to this digestive disease place in Des Moines and getting the colonoscopies and the scopes. And they wanted to, God, you're really, really sick. Let's try this drug trial. Like, I don't want any more drugs. And so we started deep diving in the, we're biohackers. So we started really looking into,
Yeah, you were doing everything right.
holistic-
That's
yeah.
what was crazy. I mean, we were doing red light therapy, cold therapy, PEMF. I mean, every one of these biohacks to try to bring her body back. And it's worked on so many other people. Doing these things are very good for you. But she just kept getting sicker.
Yeah.
And
Supplements, my diet was perfect. Everything, and we just couldn't, and it, like you said, I'd have like 2 good days and then I'd go down the drain again. And it just, the last 2 years have just gotten worse and worse and worse. And, there'd be mornings where I'd have to get up 3 hours before it was time to go to work, lay on the floor for about 2 hours, stretch, because my body was so full of fluid that I couldn't move. Then I would do some like Tai Chi. I would do red light therapy. I did a coffee enema every day. I did a cold plunge every day. I did a sauna every day. And that was at like 3:00 in the morning, just getting ready for work. And I managed to make it to work every day and put a smile on and fake it. But I would come home and just crash. I had no energy, like a really good day was when I could actually make my kids like a frozen pizza for supper. That was like, oh man, I actually feel like I'm a functioning adult today.
well, it made you feel like not a mom.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
it was
I was
very
struggling.
hard depression. The depression set in when she couldn't do the basics for her kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
do laundry to cook them supper, and a lot of people take that for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's and that's what I seen weigh on her a lot was I just want to cook my kids supper again. I just want to do these simple tasks that we all take for granted, and she couldn't even do those.
Right.
And that
And,
was-
and to be going that far, doing, everything under the
Yep.
book and nothing's working.
Yeah. And no doctors
can
would
only
help.
imagine.
Yeah. No doctors would. And I kept going to the doctor and they kept saying, man, your labs are the worst. I had 4 or 5 doctors tell me that my labs were the worst they'd ever seen. And then here's a water pill. It's like nobody was looking at the root cause. And that's what
Yeah.
we tried finding. So then we're like, okay, there's mold in my house. So I had my house treated for mold.
and you were full of mold.
I was
too.
full of mold, and that was, and then I got a little bit better. So like, that's it. But then it would come back, and I'm like, okay, so what is it now? And what else? I mean, Candida, we did.
Yes.
Uh,
Candida.
and every
mold,
lab,
so
I
many
had
times.
so many outside lab tests. I spent thousands of dollars getting these lab tests done and getting hormonal tests done, and it was just like nothing was. We just couldn't figure out what it was.
Right. And yeah, and it got to the point where I just told her, I go, you know what? It's done. You're going to the emergency room. And because I didn't know what to do. And I literally thought she was going to die. I thought they were going to go in there and it was going to be, we're going to do a scan. You got great big tumors in you and you got about a week to live. I mean, that's where we thought she was at.
Yeah.
And so the first emergency room we went in, they did a full scan of her body. And come back, we were just expecting the worst. And she said, you have no tumors, no cancer, but you have a big mass in your stomach. And so basically what you need to do is you just need to go to the bathroom and here's a water pill. And that was the first emergency room. And at that point, I guess something good about that was I always try to take the positives out of everything. And like I told her, I go, well, you're not full of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a tumor. So let's take the positives and let's figure out what this is. And what was it about 2 weeks before that, we had flew down to Arizona to move our hemp company down there. And so one of our buddies that we're in business with down there, Cole Stegman, he goes, well, I think it could possibly something to do with parasites. And so we went on some parasite cleanse, and a pretty strong one at that time. And so she went on 7 days, and that ball in that mass in her stomach was actually a ball of dead parasites. And so that's kind of when we knew, like, holy shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
these are parasites. And so, yeah. And that's where we started. That's where we started to see what was really happening. And then at that point,
And that was how far after the puking and you started noticing you were just not.
It's probably a couple of years. The puking was like 2021. I think the puking started. And so it's just been doctors and trying to treat myself and all this stuff for about 3 years. And then
3
Right.
years.
3 years of just hell and doing that's just it. The thing that blew my mind is I was doing everything right. I mean, a normal, like I said, if a normal human being got up and did what I did every day just to
Yeah, they'd be
stay
Superwoman.
alive, they'd be Superwoman, and I'm just barely trudging through life. And so it was awful. And so Cole he's very knowledgeable on a lot of stuff. And I had, you see stuff on TikTok about parasites and I thought, well, maybe it was, but that can't be, you don't want to think you're full of worms, and
Yeah.
it's just another trend. But I'm like, what do we have to lose? We tried everything else. So we did that big ivermectin kill and Yeah, just
Right.
killed a lot of them.
We killed a lot of them, and we'll get into that later. But there's a lot of protocols when you're killing parasites. I've learned a lot from these. When she was sick before that, she bought the Pampa program.
Yeah.
Because very lost, and so we started researching Dr. Pampa's his products, and I started researching them, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to call this company directly, and so we got hooked up with Dr. Jack Tips. He's the wellness whiz out of Austin, Texas, and so he's been working with parasites since the 60s. And so, yeah, he sent me tons of information, tons of documentations on parasites, how they work in your body, how in Iowa we are really infested with them up here, and not very many people are addressing that. They are, with all the agriculture, the animals that we're around, they're prevalent all over, but here there's a lot of them. And, they're in pretty much every single human, is what we found. And, some people, I'll bring it up, and like, well, I feel okay. Well, that's because your immune system right now is good and it's fighting them off, and you're not becoming a better host for them. As we get sicker, right, and they start to take over, we become a much better host for them. And that's when we start to see all these different things happen, from autoimmunes. I mean, if you research it, it's mind-blowing crazy what parasites will lead to. About 99% of disease.
So basically everybody that's listening to this right now has parasites.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
And there are good parasites, but there are bad parasites. And
Yeah.
the majority of people have, are full of parasites. And like I said, the things I've seen that have come out of us, even me, because I did all these kills and cleanses too, is very disturbing, very eye-opening. And it's, like I said, I wouldn't believe myself if I haven't seen this the last 3 to 4 months of what we went through with her and her parasites, these worms, from flukes to worms to these rope worms, which I'll explain later, and all these different things. And parasites are extremely sneaky. They do weird things. And if you don't do a parasite kill and cleanse right, basically you're going to piss them off, and then they're going to multiply. And so there's a lot of different protocols with doing. That's what I've been working with that Dr. Jack Wells down in Jack Tips, down in Texas, coming with a protocol to where we protect your body while we're doing these kills and cleanses, and doing it. And he says once you get it, everyone goes, well, do I got to do this all the time? Because parasites are in the air. They're in your food. They're in your animals.
Yeah.
They are all over the place. So you're never gonna completely get away from these things. We just want to stay ahead of them, keep our immune system up, and like I said, just don't become that great host for them, because they're all over. I mean,
right.
Well, one of the things too is they love prescription medication. Right. So like as you get sicker, you usually go to the doctor to get prescriptions. Well, if you have parasites, you're just feeding them. They love it. They love sugar. They love iron, and they love
They were basically eating off her thyroid medication, and so that's why her thyroid numbers were the worst that they've ever seen. And so her basically thyroid shut down. And so what that affects is a lot of different things, health-wise. For example, her menstrual cycle went crazy. I mean, she was wearing a diaper to work.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, clots.
Let's just put that out in the universe.
Yeah, I know, it's just out there, but
Everybody knows it.
Everybody knows.
well,
it.
then so then you're extremely low on iron, and then so when you're extremely low on iron is very dangerous as well. And so we were feeding her iron after iron pills, all these different things for iron. Well, tapeworms feed on iron.
Yeah.
Oh,
So she wasn't getting no iron. And so we had to do some iron infusions at the cancer center to actually make her feel a little bit alive. After you took those, I
felt better.
totally different. And so we knew that she was deficient on that. But what we didn't realize is that nothing was absorbing into her without doing IVs. And that's because the parasites were feeding on it. They were just loving it. Sugar, if you have sugar cravings is a big one, there's so many different signs that you have parasites, but that's a big one too. So, like I said, they're just eating everything.
That's crazy because I know a lot of people with sugar cravings.
Oh yeah,
So.
it's a big,
right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm bad with the sugar.
You're infested.
Real bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's after every meal, I just want sugar.
You want sugar?
Yeah.
It's addictive
Real bad.
anyway, but I
Right.
say if you, I recommend to everybody, if you're listening to this, take it, do your research, and take control of it, because they're there. I promise you, you have them, like I said, a lot of people don't know it because their immune system is doing good right now, but eventually, they just keep growing and multiplying, and we're ingesting them all the time. So it's just something,
and with this video, what we should do too, Jake, is get you know, maybe like one or two of like the top resources that you have used during the studies that you've done for this,
Right.
so that we can link them in the video that people, so that people have a place to start their own
Right.
research as well. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yep.
like anything, you know, everyone thinks something is a hoax.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they don't.
They're just
they
trying to
totally-
make money.
you know, so
Yeah.
unless
Absolutely.
you do your own research, you never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
unless you don't know, you know, that's what I started with. What I started with was a Pampa program, you know, and started researching their products, and so that's that. And they use systemic formulas, and Alimentum Labs is what these guys are, and they're very holistic.
It's all
and so-
plant-based.
Yep, and these I think it's Dr. Jack Wheelwright was a guy that this Dr. Jack worked with, and this Wheelwright traveled the world. Going to these different countries where they're infested with parasites and looking up indigenous things that they did to take care of the parasites. And he did all this, and that's how they created their products for parasite kill and cleanses. And so that's where I get all my products. Like I said, I worked with Dr. Jack to come up with this protocol cleanse to where, you know, and this is what other people don't realize, is that when a parasite dies, it's going to explode and release everything in your body. So number one, we got to take care of your gut, your microbiome of your stomach when we're doing these types of things. And so we take a SBO prebiotic, which is a soil-based organism prebiotic. Soil-based organisms disrupt parasites, so that's why we do soil-based ones. And then we do a soil-based organism probiotic, and then we also do a binder that we take away from anything else, because when they explode, we got to get that out of you. And so binders bind to bad, but they also bind to good. So that's the only tricky part. You want to take your binder away from any other medications or good things that you're taking, because it will attach to that as well.
So done incorrectly, you can go toxic from it.
That's what almost killed.
That's what almost killed her, because when we did that one kill and cleanse, I mean, all that ball of parasites just released everything. And that's
So I got
where
super toxic.
that picture I showed you of her face, where she got super toxic.
I got yellow and my organs started
But
shutting down.
we're so desperate trying to find an answer, you know, we were just shooting here and there and whatever. And so I didn't know all this about parasites in the cleanse and what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to handle it.
So I ended up going down after that to Des Moines. I go to Clive and I get colonics. So basically they stick a tube up your ass and power wash you out.
Yes. And I have did 3 of them.
And he liked it.
Yeah. Well,
They power wash
They
you
power
out.
wash your intestines out, essentially. It's actually a really clean, like the lady that does it is amazing. She's like super sweet. It's not like disgusting at all. All the poop is behind a screen. Like it just gets taken away, but you get to watch everything that's coming out of you. And it is insane. Like these, like, you know, when I'm getting like 4-inch worms, or
4-inch, you're talking like
2 foot worms coming
2
out, you know,
foot.
like going by. They're like, holy shit, we've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And candida and heavy metal. You see all the heavy metals. Most of us have. I mean, like what they say, Elvis died with like 45 pounds of old shit in him. We all have that.
Yeah,
you know?
they're very healthy. You know, most disease originates in your gut, honestly. And you know, if you can imagine your intestine, all these years, you know, just picture a plumbing pipe. You know, when shit runs through it, it just builds up on the walls.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to your intestines. And then when that happens, it's harder for stuff to absorb. And then you throw parasites in the mix as well. And so what these colonics do is they, you know, enemas will get to the bottom of your intestine, but a colonic will get all the way up to the top where it starts, your large intestine. And so what it does, it goes up there and it just slowly kind of washes along the inside of the walls, and then it breaks it off, and then that's what comes out.
Huh.
And so colonics are good for every single human.
And you sent us pictures of
Right.
the worms going through
Those are what makes it real for people.
Yeah.
the mighty power washer vac.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
And we're gonna post those so that everybody can see.
So
it.
Yeah,
So it's
I
gonna be
want,
right here.
people to see it.
Yeah.
I want people to see the worms. I want them to see the flukes. I want them to see those things, because it makes it real.
It's like a science. Like I still have a little bit of PTSD from the stuff that has come out of me. Like hundreds of these.
Well,
things.
you're a girl. You know, what
Yeah.
girl wants
Yeah.
to be known for worms? You know what I mean?
And diapers. Thank you.
She struggled because every day at the gym I was telling people about her worms, because I was
Yeah.
like, passionate about trying to tell people about this. You know,
I'm making him a smoothie, and he's like, "Look what's coming out of her ass." I'm like, "Yeah." She's really good for sales.
yeah.
Oddly, sales picked up, but yeah.
Well, it scares them. They're like, I have these. I go, I know
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah. We deworm our animals. Like that's the thing that gets everybody is we deworm our animals. You deworm your cats, you deworm your horses, you deworm your
Right.
dogs.
I don't
we are
remember last
animals.
time I got dewormed.
Yeah.
No,
I know.
No, that's what I was thinking.
Did you? Have you ever got dewormed?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe in a weird way.
Not that I know.
Not the traditional method.
Yeah.
A lot of other countries they deworm them before they start school. you know, because
they have protocols. They've dealt with parasites forever, you know, and anymore in our country, our food is way worse than theirs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's there, you know, you can watch reels, you know, you'll see these parasite videos where they take a pork chop and pour Coke onto it, and you just see the worms fly out of it. Or like salmon. Salmon, they'll zoom in at the store. I seen they zoomed in on it, and you can see them crawling around.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Fruit,
Fruit is bad.
Yeah.
Well, you were here the night when we stepped on a cricket.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
You ever done that?
Oh yeah, and
You
all that
step
stuff.
on a cricket, and then the parasite worms come
on
out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
They
crazy.
say crickets are one of the worst.
Yeah.
Like nasty.
Yeah.
That is
I can see that because we did it a second time at work or something in the
it
same
did
fucking
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Really?
I've never seen
yeah.
that in my
No, they're just full of them. Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's fucking nasty.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then to think that kind of stuff is what's crawling around in us.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny you guys say that, because Justin, who works for us, he has those tarantulas. He will not feed them crickets. He just told me that the other day.
Yeah.
He won't feed them crickets because they're full of them parasites and they're horrible for you.
Yeah.
For
Really?
even animals. Yeah.
That is wild.
It is crazy.
It's very wild.
No, we have a friend of ours. She pulled one out of her skin.
Oh, we've seen them come out of
They come out of your skin. Yeah, and she just
ringworm, you know?
yeah.
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 It's parasite.
I had one come
parasitic.
out of my ass, like the skin on my ass,
Yeah.
just this weird rash. It came out. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
People
they'll-
getting behind their eyes.
Well, people.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah,
Yeah, they get them in their eyes, but what? So if they're in your intestines, basically we'll shit them out. Basically, what will happen?
Yeah.
But in our organs, what happens? They'll die, go into our bloodstream, and then our liver and kidneys kind of flush those out. So a lot of these cleanses we do, we want to do some liver and kidney support. If your numbers are off on that, we do that. Also, when you do a kill or cleanse, you really want to make sure you're going to the bathroom regularly, because the worst thing you can do is be not going to the bathroom while we're killing all this stuff. And so that's why we make sure that's okay. If that's not okay, we have different products that can help you go. Because that's what we got to stay in contact when we work with our clients. You know, hey, we got to ask these questions and support them that way. So they know.
Have you used this as like a way to develop a program to incorporate into NIP Fitness?
Yeah, absolutely.
As like a health program now?
Yes,
for
yes,
people?
we do. Yeah, and so we've helped a lot of people. A lot of people, they're all feeling amazing.
yeah,
I mean, we've helped so many people with it.
anybody with gut issues feels 1,000.
Yeah, it's 7 different products that we take. It's about a 45-day deal. Some people are running, actually, they're 45 days, they're taking a little bit of break, and then they're going to run another one. And then they say, Dr. Jack told us, you do another killer cleanse at least once a year, and just be aware. Just be aware of these things. Cook your. I used to be, medium rare all the time.
Yeah.
Now I just got a steak, and you know what I did? I did well.
Yeah.
I did. It's scarred me and scared me.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, and
no more sushi.
And that sucks too, because
it does.
I like sushi, and I like my meat rare.
Sushi and a medium rare steak.
Yes.
well, I mean, that's where you get a lot of the horror stories too, is from sushi and shit.
Right.
Because
raw.
raw shit. Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't know this either. Shrimp. They call them the cockroach of the sea.
Oh yeah.
They
they
sit on the
bottom feeders.
They're bottom feeders, and I used to love shrimp. I love shrimp. Eating raw shrimp all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's been my main protein source for like the last 4 years. So that was a big one I had to let go of. But
Yeah, I mean, you just can't. You're not going to cut these things out, but I think everyone in the world should do some sort of cleanse at some point. Be aware of what's happening, and try to stay ahead of them. I mean, there's stories now that I've been hearing from different people. People, with asthma, their asthma's going away. They're from Parkinson's to
MS.
No shit.
parasitic
Yeah.
related. Yeah,
Yep.
and I'm not. I mean, maybe a little bit conspiracy theorist, but not completely. I guess, you know what I mean? I just
Right.
I like to find answers, and pharmaceutical companies rule the world, and they will to the day we die.
Yeah.
And they don't want us to kill parasites,
Yeah.
because, like I said, they're the root cause of a lot of different disease.
And they don't want people healthy.
They don't want you healthy.
Yeah.
They want you alive, but they want you sick.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I got the prescription for a parasite kill. My doctor.
Yeah, so I mean, like ivermectin and fenben, that's what they ivermectin bastardized it, which actually killed COVID, because COVID was parasitic related. Imagine that. Right?
Huh.
Yeah, then that's why they hid it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and it's for animals, so how dare you have that, right?
Right.
People and they wouldn't give it to you, whatever. And so she was going to a holistic doctor in Ankeny, couldn't figure her out. And so we finally told her what it was. We said, parasites. And she goes, wow, okay, that makes sense now. And she goes, well, I can write you a prescription for ivermectin, and fenbendazole is another one that's not for humans, but menbendazole is. So they wrote her prescription for menbendazole instead of the fenbendazole, which is legal in other countries, right? And so if you look up menbendazole compared to fenbendazole, they add like cottonseed oil to it and something else that you really don't even need. It's not good for you, and made a prescription out of it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the prescription was for a 30-day prescription. Insurance would cover 7 or 15 days of it. Out of pocket for the next 15 days. Guess what it was?
$700.
$7,000 added
Holy
to your
fuck.
So they know that you're not going to afford that.
Yeah.
They know if you do 15 days, you're going to piss these things off, and you're never going to get rid of them.
You're gonna get sicker.
They weren't addressing your gut, the microbiome in your gut, no prebiotic, no probiotic, and no binder even was talked about when they said to kill these things, which is very disturbing to me.
Yeah. So not only are they putting shit in our food that already has parasites in our food,
Right.
they're fucking roadblocking everybody
From
from
getting
being able to get rid of them and treat themselves.
100%. Like I said, I don't know if I can blame the doctors completely on this, you know, because a lot of them I believe aren't taught about this, you know, because to me, what I've found is that pharmaceutical companies basically dictate the curriculum they're going to learn.
Whoa.
And I guarantee it's not focused on parasites at all. It might get brought up, but there's.
Well, that's why
So-
University of Iowa, emergency room there, they asked if I left the country.
Well,
you know?
I asked about
Yeah.
parasites when she was very sick again. I said, what do you think about parasites? And she looked at me like a really funny look, like I'm a dumb bastard. And I'm like, she goes, what, was she out of the country? I go, oh, yeah, I'm not. Okay, we're dropping that right now. Yeah.
Do you think that because we live in America and everyone thinks that we're such a sophisticated society that they think it's just beneath us that people can have parasites?
I think that's part of it. I do think that's part of it. I think they hide it. It'll never make mainstream media because they don't want it to. And so, yeah, I think that's both plays into it. You know, like I said, other countries, they've had these protocols for a long time. They've dealt with parasites. You know, I remember years ago when I went to Mexico, they said, don't drink the water because of parasites.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so they deal with these things.
So they at least are acknowledging
Right.
that that's what's happening.
They're acknowledging it. Like I said, and you know, our food industry anymore is very, very tainted.
Which
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know,
I-
have you guys seen what Kennedy's doing right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
push he's making with the food industry.
Yeah.
I feel like that needs to happen here too with
For sure.
parasites, because you get a guy like that who everybody knows
Yep.
Right.
leading the cause of, hey, something needs to change because these people here are fucking everybody to make money.
100%.
That's
Doesn't
what needs
he
to
have a
happen.
doesn't he say has a parasite in his brain or something? I feel like there's something with him and a parasite. I think
Could be.
he's talked about it before. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
No, they need that. I saw that the other day, and that's we need.
Well, and then
We
like
need to
some of
do
these
something.
autopsies, if you dig into that too, it's disturbing. You know, I mean, let's say you die of cancer tomorrow, or you die of cirrhosis of the liver. You know, they just say you died of cirrhosis. There's no autopsy done. Figure out why you got that, how you got it, if that's what caused it. And so some of these people, you know, like that one example, that lady's husband died of cirrhosis of the liver, and she's like, well, he don't drink. So, I mean, you don't always have to drink to have that, but she was confused. So she just wanted an autopsy. So she paid for it. And they cut his liver open, and it was full of liver flukes,
Really?
all
Oh,
flukes.
shit.
Yeah. And so, but
Which
most of
are
that,
which are parasite.
Yeah.
the parasite, absolutely.
That's
Liver
what he's.
flukes?
Yeah, he's got
Flukes.
a bunch of
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
I think I sent you pictures of those too.
Yeah,
on there.
yeah.
Little rubbery
little
little-
shell looking
yeah.
things.
Little shells, and then those are casings, but the little rubber looking things.
Yeah.
It looks like a leech type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are flukes.
lamprey.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
So it's funny you brought up that fenbendazole, right? I was just talking to what might be my future brother-in-law, and his father
Future brother-in-law.
just
that?
his father was recently diagnosed with cancer. You know, it's spread
Right.
all over, and he just said it today actually that that was the drug that they heard about,
Very
and they're going to
anti-cancer.
start.
It's cured a lot of
It's
people.
cured a lot. Fenbendazole is very anti-cancer. So is ivermectin. But you put those two together, there's so many testimonials out there because a lot of cancer is parasitic related.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. He's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Cause I actually, right before we started, I texted him, and that's what, if you saw me texting over here, that was what I was doing. I was trying to text him to see what the name of that was.
Yeah.
Right.
And he wanted me to ask you about it, what
Right.
and because they heard a story recently that, and that's why they started doing it, is because somebody from around here, I'm not sure the name or what was going on, but they had lung cancer, possibly stage 4, and started taking it.
Like Cassandra's.
And all of a sudden, 6 months later or something, he said she was cancer free.
Absolutely. There's so much. I do have side note, if I got a protocol of ivermectin fenbendazole for different types of cancer that Cole sent us.
Yeah.
We got that big document that I could forward on to you guys as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
I just love to cure people and heal people. That's what drives me, and to see people get their life back. And there's so many people that probably didn't have to suffer and die if they knew about parasites.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing.
Knew about it.
That's the thing. I've been through this. We've been through this hell for the last 4 years, and it's like there's got to be a purpose in this. Like
There's
I'm
a
not.
reason.
It is embarrassing as hell to have everybody know. See your shit, literally. But it's, if I can help one person, or if there's somebody else in my situation that has just been to doctor after doctor and can't get help, and I can help them, then that's so worth it.
There's so many stories like yours that you don't hear about, and they get this runaround. I mean, you got to wait 3 months for an appointment, and if you go to the doctor just for a well-being, like I don't feel good, my stomach's off, you're gonna get that. You got IBS, you got Crohn's, you got inflammatory bowel syndrome. Here's a prescription drug. That's what you're going to get. And you're going to go around the circle. And I've worked with so many people with this that are just lost. They don't know what to do. And parasites affect your mental health, anxiety, depression. They affect every part of your body. And they just get the runaround. They get defeated, and they get, like I said, we see it all the time. And there's so many things that we could do just to help them, and it's fun watching them get their life back. Like, wow, this was simple, but I had the runaround.
So like with your situation, well, you look at somebody that goes back to the gym, right? Mm-hmm. Say they haven't been in the gym for a long time, and they go back to the gym and they're in there for 30 days and they're not really seeing any results. And what do most people do? They get kind of fed up and then they quit.
They quit.
Well,
Absolutely.
The people do the same thing, not only with the gym, they do it with everything. A lot of people are like instant gratification type people. So you go to the doctor, they don't tell you what you want, and then that's it. You never make another appointment.
Right.
So how many people are walking around just dealing with
so many
symptoms of this or symptoms of that because doctor said it was this and they took the medicine and it didn't work, so fuck it. That is what it is.
Well, and they got to wait. They're getting defeated because it takes you 2 to 3 months to even get an appointment, to even get a consultation, and then they don't get nothing there, then it's another 2 to 3 months, unless something's very, very serious at the time where you're in an emergency room. But how long did it take to get to your one appointment for your thyroid?
That was
after we went to the
September. So.
April to September. Yeah. That's after we were in the emergency room in Iowa City. They made an appointment because the worst numbers ever they've seen on a thyroid. So made an appointment with their endocrinologist, and it took 3 months to get that for how bad a shape she was in.
Mm.
Yep.
And then just get a consultation, then got it. And I told her she wanted to go. I go, you can go, and had high hopes, trying to figure more things out, and same old thing.
Well, and that's a country that has like privatized healthcare where everybody can go get seen for something.
Mm-hmm.
Think about a country like Canada where, if it's not you're dying right now, you just keep waiting.
You're gonna figure it out.
You'll probably end up dying before you get an appointment.
If you don't have the knowledge or resources.
Even with those insurance companies though too, I mean, they make it a protocol where you have to go through like
certain
this
steps.
then this is the next step. And even though you know that you're probably going to end up at that last step,
right?
You have to do that, so that makes it even drag out even longer.
Well, that
for sure.
People don't want to pay because like our insurance, I used to think was pretty good insurance, but fuck, dude. Like just a regular ass doctor's appointment with basic shit, $200 and some odd or whatever. And we're doing that over and over and over again.
Yep.
The more you know, the older you get, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the fucking truth.
Yeah. And it's just they don't never want to find the root cause of what's hurting you.
No.
And killing you. They never will. It's a Band-Aid to get you on medication. I actually worked with a lady, what was that, 3 weeks ago? I've worked with a lot, and I always see how many prescriptions are on, right?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of 12 to 16.
Wow.
This lady had, guess,
32.
20, 26?
Jeez.
26.
26.
Yeah.
26
She's going down the
she was
first
on.
page, and we're like, holy cow, it's a lot. And then she flips the page over, and we're like,
I was shit. I really
Yeah.
did.
That's a meal full of pills.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you take those and you're
she
full.
was so sick and fed up and
Yeah.
lost. You know, she had, and I felt so bad for her, but I mean, I don't know what.
that's a hard one to know where to
It's a
start.
hard one to
Yeah.
even know where to start.
Yeah.
How much does that?
I do 2 pills.
How much does that cost? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
that's the sad thing is that a lot of what they do is like a lot of prescriptions are very cheap. You can fill like an antidepressant for $2.30, but then they'll throw one in there. Oh, this is like $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
You know, and they, so they're very smart on the way they do it.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, holistically wise, you can't do that.
yeah.
You know, it's for what we do, it's our products. I can't do insurance with that.
Yeah.
And so you're going to pay more at this time. But I tell them, you know, you're going to either invest in your health right now. Otherwise, 5 years from now, if you go to add it up, it's going to be tenfold of what you thought you were going to invest right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just the truth.
Yeah, you start looking at copays, driving to the doctor, time off work
Right.
from going to the doctor. If you can heal yourself, then you're eliminating all that. So an extra $50 to $100 a month. For,
Well, it seems like they compound everything, right? Like they treat the main issue with this pill, and it helps the main issue, but it gives you a side effect. So then they treat the side effect with this one, and that one gives you a mood swing. So they put you on an antidepressant over here, which causes something else.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're on fucking 8, 10 pills.
You're on 5 before you blink.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
okay, so
It's yes.
let me go back here real quick. So like you did the kill, the parasite kill, and that was when you guys figured out like, oh shit,
It's
like
parasites.
we didn't do this right.
Yes.
Right.
We almost killed me.
Yes.
Trial-
It's honestly happened a few times throughout this process. Like I am,
Yeah,
we
I mean-
I'm the big experiment.
Well,
you
we
know,
had nowhere.
you know.
We had nowhere to turn.
Yeah.
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 We had nowhere to go, and like you said, we just didn't know.
And you're desperate. You know?
Desperate. I
but
mean-
yeah, no, that.
Yeah, which
That
makes
did not
total
end well,
sense.
'cause we weren't
oh,
treating-
hey, it'll kill him. Let's take this.
Yeah.
And that's
You know?
why we learned you got to treat the gut and you got to do the binder and you got to be going to the bathroom. That's the biggest thing. And that's
Right.
most people don't know. If you don't go to the bathroom once a day, that's not good. You have to go at least
Yeah.
once a day.
Yeah.
And most of us are sitting around here.
Shit, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Don't take that for
Don't
granted.
take it for granted. That's all I want. I just want to
That's
go
the
to the bathroom.
wild part is you told us that when you kill the parasite in your body, that's when it releases all its toxins. You would have never thought. You thought
No.
dead,
No,
gone,
gone.
perfect.
Yep.
No.
Just what we wanted. But
Well, it makes
no,
sense, you
no, it's
know.
not.
It's just going to disintegrate into nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you think, you know, like a dead raccoon on the side of the road, you know, it bloats.
Mm-hmm.
Everything gets toxic because it's dead.
Yep.
Right.
And then it blows up, you know.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. They just
Yeah.
that's inside of you. So,
Yeah.
okay, so then what was it like as soon as you took the kill? Like when you started getting sick, did you ever have a moment where you're like, oh, we fucked up? Shouldn't have took that.
That's when she got sicker, and that's when I said you're going to the emergency room.
Yeah. Like
No.
there was, he
Yeah.
Okay.
demanded, I was putting it off because I was supposed to take my kid to a concert and I don't even know how I made it through that concert. I went to a concert in Des Moines and then the next morning at like 4:00 in the morning, we went to the emergency room.
She thought it was going to be the last concert she
Yeah.
was going to go to. I
What,
mean,
what
literally.
wanted to have this,
was
like,
the
last-
concert? What was the concert?
Zach Bryan with
Oh,
me.
so not a bad
Not a
one
bad
to go
one
out. You
Right,
know.
yeah. But it was like in my mind, it was like, this may be, and I don't want to get emotional, but this may be the last moment I have with my son, you know? So like, let's do it. And
Yeah. And I finally told her because she's so not doctorish. You know, I said, "You're going. We're gonna go. We're gonna try to find some sort of answer." You
Right.
know? And I told her, I go, "At least you'll know. We'll
Yeah.
know if you got. We'll at least know that part." And you know, when you do the scan, you know, when they did that scan on her, we were in there, and I'm like, it's gonna be. I mean, we prayed and we prayed and we prayed and we prayed, and then doctor came back, and he was just kind of like,
you just gotta go to the bathroom.
"Yeah,
You got a big mass.
Yeah,
Here's a
just
water
go to
pill.
the bathroom, and here's a water pill." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, dude, you see her?"
Yeah.
Because I was so swollen. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't talk. I couldn't hold a pen to write. My face was so swollen. My body was so swollen. I looked like I was 9 months pregnant. Actually had some guy at the gym, bless his heart, ask me if I was pregnant. like, dude, number one, you work with my kid who's 18 years old. You know, like I'm old. Like, but you know, I'm like, nope, not pregnant, just
Good way to
toxic.
boost your morale for the day.
Yeah, I'm feeling really great about myself now.
Maybe he just thought you were glowing that day.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks.
So how'd you work through how'd you work through figuring out, the process? Like after the emergency room itself, like how did you
The steps you
figure out?
like what to do.
Oh shit, we shouldn't have done that.
Right.
And
Well,
then work to like what you know now.
Well, right when emergency room, since we seen that mass and it went into our head what it was, it had to be a ball of parasites. She Googled colonics and found a colonic to get these things out of there. It's the only way to get them out because bathroom wasn't working. And so went down there and we talked to Sarah down there at Priority Health in Des Moines and Clive, and she's very knowledgeable on them as well. And so started doing colonics, and she started feeling better with the colonics. And at that point, that's when I started to get a hold of the products she got from the Pomper program. That's when I started to research those, and that's how I got a hold of Systemic Formulas and Alimentum. And I called them guys. Kind of portrayed myself as a practitioner type, But
hell yeah.
I told him, I just like to heal people, and he goes, "Dude, you sound passionate. I'm gonna let you work with us." And so, so that's what I did. And at that point, we started getting the products cheaper than the Pomper program for a number of us trying to save money. And then I told him, I go, "Hey, dude, I want to talk to your very best parasite doctor, guy, whoever it is." And it took me about 2 weeks, and I had to stay on him. And they got me a phone conversation with Dr. Jack Tips. And then I was just sucking knowledge, just learning and just everything I could. And that's when I really started to dive into them. We did, and finding these protocols and putting them together for what's going to work best for people and, for general population type of thing. And so that's what we did. And then we just started researching and listening to him and reading all of his articles and, just trying to get extremely knowledgeable on it. When you got a guy like that's been around him, that knowledge is priceless.
Right.
And so I like to learn from everybody and absorb everything from I can. And what I seen them do is I became really passionate about trying to figure these things out and get people's health back. And so that's what we're still doing. A little more on her story is that we didn't realize, so some of those long tape looking things, the really long worms, those Dr. Jack told me that those are not actually a parasite themselves. Basically, it's your intestinal lining sloughing off. So from years, she had a lot of medication in her younger years, a lot of antibiotics, those types of things, and really hurt her intestines. And so that much damage in your intestines, it'll try to repair itself. And what happens is this mucus and mucoids, they'll bind together to try to band-aid your intestines, right? To protect it. Couple problems with that is that you don't absorb stuff very well through those. And when they die, they slough off of your intestines and you see what comes out, but it's leaving raw intestine open. And then that worm that's not actually a parasite itself, but it's full of parasites.
Right.
So then that opens up and then they absorb right into your intestines. So, I mean, the flu she gets when she was passing those, it was
worst flu
horrendous.
I've ever had in my life. Yeah, I would just
you would not know.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be boom, she'd be on the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
severe stomach pain, fevers.
and we knew that you knew they were coming.
Yeah.
It's like here they are.
Yeah.
And she had probably hundreds of those that have come off her intestines.
So now my intestines are all raw.
So right now we're at the, Dr. Jack told me, we're going to do this kill. We're going to get this stuff done. He goes, "You're seeing ropeworms. That's good. That's bad, but it's good. That means it's time to heal and seal now." So now we're going to heal her intestines and seal them up. And so we're doing a lot of mucosagenics, a couple different products we're doing with him. So he actually has taken her case. It was beyond me. It got me confused. I mean, I'm learning. So she's actually working directly with him right now too, to heal and seal and then reconnect after that. Then we got to reconnect her mind with her digestive system to work together. Get her migrating motor complex to so your brain tells your intestines to squeeze every like 40 to 60 minutes. And so they've lost that connection. So that's why she still got to do colonics, enemas, types of things to go to the bathroom. But it's getting better for her. And eventually that brain and that mind and body will connect again, and then it'll be good, and her intestines should be healed up. So
that's crazy that you say that too, because the connection, the subconscious of the brain that connects and talks to the body is absolutely wild to me.
Oh yeah.
Because people talk about it, right? Like your intestine needs to contract every 60 minutes. You just said, or whatever. Nobody knows that.
You don't feel it.
You don't know that it's doing that.
No,
but the
no
fact
idea.
that your body does that, not being controlled by you is absolutely fucking crazy.
Well, I was always wondering, like, how does my shit come on? Is
I
it just
thought it was-
gravity?
I thought it was
And I was like,
I thought it was Taco Tico.
man,
Just push it out.
super
yeah.
throw a pack and
You know, that's what I thought it was.
Slides right
that's
out.
too.
That's what he always tells me when I need to go to the bathroom. Maybe you just need to go get some Tico and,
Yeah.
you know.
Go eat a Whopper with cheese.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'll do it.
That'll do
Yeah,
that.
that'll definitely do it.
That'll do it fast.
Taco Bell.
But
Taco
it's, what's
Bell.
weird is he has me on this therapy. So every day I do something different. So one day it's like gargling. One day it's you gag yourself. One day you sing really loud for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's really stimulating the vagus
Yeah,
nerve.
it's just kind of, like,
doing some different
weird.
things
Yeah.
too. Yeah, he's very.
And this is one of the best parasite doctors
Parasite and gut doctors
in the world.
He's been
I-
doing.
I really
yeah.
believe so,
He's like
yes.
the OG nature.
He's like one of the OGs down there. Yeah. Super cool dude.
So your case was
Hey, get in the mic.
your case was way up the food chain for bad.
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 very, very
Yeah.
bad.
Yes. I
Very,
mean,
very extreme.
If he took you on, then yours was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
That's well, at least you were with the best.
I'm
of
with the best, and it has gotten a lot better. You know, I still have like I'll
Still
have
some-
these episodes. I think when different stuff hits those raw spots on my intestines, I get like it could be 15 minutes, it could be 3 hours. I get this like weird flu type thing, but we're definitely getting better, and I've got all the tools in my hands. It's just, but it's
Yeah,
like I
there's
can't,
hope now.
Yeah, there's
I
hope.
mean, it
yeah.
was hopeless there for a good 6-7 months to where we really lost hope.
Yeah.
Like I really was like, oh man, she's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
That's where we're at because I just watched it go away for 3 years straight.
Yeah.
Just good day here, and then what was funny, you would duplicate. I say, just do what you did.
Yeah.
Duplicate everything you did that day that you could possibly do, and didn't matter.
Didn't matter what I ate.
Didn't matter
And I
what
was
you
like
ate.
obsessively to the minute doing exactly what I did the day before to have a good day. And I
Right.
just end up on the floor. I'm like, what now?
no.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time where you were like you were trying all these different things before you found out it was all these parasites that you were like you had a good like week and you're like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what I need to be doing. And then all of a sudden it just
That happened
Very
over and over
Happened
and
a lot.
over and over and over again. I'm like, we finally, like the mold, we eradicated the mold. I started improving. I'm like, oh, this is good. Then I'd start a different supplement. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling better. And it would,
Well, what Dr. Jack explained to us is that her bucket was so full, and her bucket means that her toxicity was so high. We all have a bucket, right? And that's what we can, if we breathe in bad stuff, it doesn't affect us because our bucket's not overflowing. Well, her bucket was so full because she was so sick that even like if someone would come into the gym with some sort of perfume on or smell, instantaneous headache.
Yeah.
She'd have to go in the back room, open the doors. So any little thing, smells were really bad, would throw her bucket over and it'd overflow and then extremely sick. So he says we need to get that bucket down to where we can adapt to stresses that are coming in instead of just instantaneously sick when it hits. And so I thought that was an interesting concept because you got better. You could handle different things. Like it wasn't like she'd be like, see certain customers come in. She's like, oh, run, hide, She couldn't do it, And I was like, how could that make you that sick? It was like mind boggling to me. I'm like, fuck, I know it don't smell the best, but
I could not if I walked into a mall, I would be
couldn't
on the
do that.
ground. Yeah.
So
Guys
so
with
sick.
body,
Like
body spray.
Yeah.
your main, what were like your main symptoms from this? Like stomach nausea.
Stomach pain, nausea, a lot of bloating, like the level of exhaustion I can't even explain. They say it's like a normal person staying up for 3 days and then trying to like go function. So like just imagine like if you've ever been partying for a couple of days and just not
been there.
sleep. That's how it was on the daily basis. Really bad headaches.
But then you were working through all
I was
this
working
and trying
through
to
she didn't
live
miss
a normal life.
I think she missed one day at work.
One day at work. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Damn.
It was mind blowing.
I would have lost my fucking job.
yeah.
Well, and luckily I have an awesome
I would've
boss.
been a
You know,
bitch.
that if I needed a nap, I could go nap for 5-10 minutes. But no, it was. But it kept me
I think
sane.
that kept her
Yeah.
alive because
Yeah.
she had a purpose to get up.
Yeah.
She didn't lay. And this is what's really mind boggling about her. She never felt sorry for herself. I mean, yeah, you might have had a few bouts here and there where severely depressed, crying, like, is this ever going to end? I'm dying. I'm never going to see my kid. It just went very bad. But, getting up with a purpose every day. And we always believe that the purpose was so we can heal other people, bring her through this, how, the worst, so we can tell this story and we can help other humans. And so that's why I really believe that it's where we're at with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm still mind blown about how she even functioned. And
I mean, you guys are directly related to the industry of
Health and wellness.
health and wellness, but
yes,
like winners and quitters and people that succeed or give up, you know, and that's what it is. I mean,
Right.
when you get to the end of it, like you have to be that kind of person that doesn't give up.
you just got to keep going.
You know what I mean? Like there's an end to it. There always is an end to it.
Right.
And whether it's the end you want or the end you don't, you're
Gotta
either
keep
a
going.
fighter or you're a quitter.
Yep. It's
And-
either one.
You know, and
Yeah.
Well, it's a good. It's my mental toughness has gotten so strong throughout this process too, because I can never. You know, we're big on gratitude. We're kind of woo woo people, you know. So I've made a gratitude list every morning, every night for the last however many years, and that kind of keeps me, you know, keeps me moving, because there is, even in the depths of despair, there's always something to be grateful for, and it just, you got to keep. You can't let it get you down. If I'm sitting there, I'm sick. Well, I'm going to feel like shit. If I'm like, I say it to myself all the time. I'm like, I'm a vibrant and healthy woman. I'm a vibrant and fucking healthy woman, you know, but I have to, you know, and it does help, you know, but
The minute, you know, we're universe people and how the universe, you know, that's what we do. But, you know, the minute that you have a negative thought, in 30 seconds, it's attracting another negative thought. And that's why it just goes down a rabbit hole. And so that's why we do a lot of these different classes to teach people this type of stuff. And I honestly think if we didn't know this stuff and understand it, how that works, you know, I don't know if you'd be alive.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because like, so I've been going like through these like weird palpitations and shit lately and whatever. And when it happens, I start thinking about it more, and the more I think about it, the more it fucking starts happening and shit. But once I get distracted by something,
It goes away.
nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
he's actually wearing a heart
Yeah, I got a
monitor
Holter
now.
monitor right
And
now.
always remember where you put your attention at, where your energy goes. So if you're thinking about pain, you're thinking about these heart palpitations, you're putting energy right into that, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, which is weird too, because it's crazy to think what your mind can do to you, like what your brain can do to you. Like you
can heal you.
can, or you could even cause yourself to have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah,
if
totally.
you fucking think about it too much or whatever, you know. It's just nuts.
It is.
It is crazy. I wish I could tap into my mind a little bit harder to be able to like
Be smarter.
Get that little bit out, a little bit more. So
you know, I just want to be able to like be better at sex.
I just be better at sex and formulate words.
Formulate big words.
Tell yourself in the mirror 10 times every
just
day,
say,
I will be better at sex. I will be better at sex.
I'm good at sex.
He does tell himself that. Never works.
I try to tell myself that. But yeah, no, that's so where are you at right now today as we sit here? Where are you at with everything?
Actually, I started off today with a bad headache, just some toxicity stuff. But for the most part, you know, I'm getting up, I'm walking every morning. My mind is
Exercising again. She never thought she was going to work out again.
You know, I have hope, and I've been able to like. It just helps me to help. Like we've been able to sell these at the gym and help other people, and to have other people get their lives back. That just feeds me. But I would say I'm probably 50%.
Oh, you're beyond. You're way.
You
more
know
than
better.
50%.
I have
she's-
like blinders on.
She's
with
probably
it.
80% better than where she was.
Yeah.
She's at the stage of healing right now. We're still healing and sealing, right? We've did enough kills to kill parasites in about 100 people probably. So Jack goes, yeah, we got to heal and seal, right? Get that done. And then the big one is connecting her mind and her intestines to work on their own and not have to do colonics and not have to do enemas and that type of thing. And so that's
All I want for Christmas is to go poop. On my own.
she still gets toxic if she doesn't go, and that's what.
Yeah.
So she'll have a bad day, but that's directly related to that. It's just toxins that she can't get rid of like us normal can. So
Right.
we do a lot of vibration, lymphatic drainage, that type of stuff to help with that. But
Get a lot of ammonia levels and stuff up when you can't go and whatnot.
Yeah.
oh
you
yeah,
just get
yeah,
really
very
toxic.
very
Yep,
toxic.
Very toxic.
Yeah. But the minute like have colonics, it's like, boy, it's like instantaneous.
Yeah, like
She's
I won't be able to eat for 3 days because I don't feel good. I go get a colonic, and we're stopping at the store, and I'm like at the health food store and mowing everything.
And
I'm
you can
just
see
starving.
the heavy
Yeah.
metals, candida, all this stuff come out of us. It's like really fucked
Yeah.
up. I mean, the shit you see come out. It's
what's really weird is I used to like be terrible. Like I would pretend like I didn't poop. You know, like if I'm like start dating a guy or something, I'm like I'm never gonna like I'm very poop shy, and now it's
now we're showing worms, man.
That's all I talk about is showing. Yeah.
Check this out.
Yeah.
You want to see something?
That reminds me of like the group Snapchat pictures of like fucking really nice turds.
Yeah.
Like, check that one out.
I actually had one for you the other day. I was like, nah, better not.
Well, I was telling him before the show yesterday. Jake's doing a cleanse right now, and so he calls me from the bathroom at work yesterday. He's like, "Come in here." I'm like, oh God, it's got to check out this poop.
Yeah. I've seen some weird
He
things
had some weird
too.
stuff yesterday. Yeah.
What I've really noticed is that my endurance is way up. Exercising wise, that's came back big time. Also, my afternoon crash. I mean, it would be like I'd leave the gym from Clear Lake, try to drive back to Mason, and I'd fall asleep at stoplights. I'm like, what? And I'm fairly healthy, I think, you know.
Yeah.
But you don't realize it. And once I did a couple cleanses, got rid of them. That's not nearly as bad. I'm staying awake easily. So that's what I've noticed, I guess, with my cleanses that I've did.
Hair is not growing back yet.
My hair's not coming back.
So that's probably something I should look into.
Because
Probably something I should look into because I'm literally just fatigued constantly. No matter how much sleep I get, no matter what.
Tired. Yeah,
All the time.
all the time. And that's that. To be tired is our shittiest feeling. I hate being tired.
I hate it so much.
It's the worst feeling.
Especially when it's a constant feeling.
I envy those motherfuckers that can get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and just rip till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And not have, like, I go do something on a Sunday morning. We'll go eat breakfast on Sunday morning, and I'll come back and be like a whole list of shit I want to get done.
Need a nap.
And the first thing I do is go sit on the couch and
Take a nap. Yeah, you sit down, you're screwed.
I
dumb.
hate,
Yep.
It's over.
But you feel like if you don't go sit down, you're like feeling like, I don't want to do this.
I know. You have no motivation.
None.
Your head.
Granted, though, I do feel like this side of the room here doesn't quite take care of ourselves like we should.
There's other factors involved.
I don't think.
I will
For yourself.
I will say other than this, I am
A good boy.
trying my best.
He's at the gym in the morning.
Brandon has come a long way. He has been working out religiously since what? Like, it's been like March, April.
Yeah, March.
He's been in the gym every fucking day, pretty much, other than when I obviously can't. But you've lost a lot of weight. You look skinny in the face. Yeah. Go back and watch some of our older episodes, and then look at his face now. He's lost a lot of.
Well, yeah, that's something we there's been in the gym industry forever, but there's a lot of different pieces to overall health, and that's what I've stressed over the years. Is so many people think they're going to join a gym, it's going to solve all their problems, they're going to feel amazing.
Yeah.
It's a very small but big piece of the puzzle, but there's so many different pieces of that puzzle.
Oh yeah, nutrition
and inflammation and parasite. I mean, all these different
minerals.
things. And
one of the things that I've found has really helped is, and it's going to sound stupid, is the greens. I've been doing like the greens
superfoods.
Oh my god, I used to get so bloated and shit all the time. And greens, that's all I do. Really, I mean, I do a bunch of other shit, but. Yeah, the greens help so fucking much.
They do. They're your superfood, antioxidant, cancer killers. They are so important.
And we don't get enough of them in our food.
No, you can't buy it. If you buy organic, you can't buy it. You can't kale, spinach, spirulina, wheatgrass, barley, alfalfa, algae. There's so many like powerful greens, and you can't buy them. I mean,
well, and in the even just like regular vegetables and shit that you can buy, it's expensive as fuck, and people are like, well. A lot cheaper to go to McDonald's today.
They're pumped full of fucking
preservatives, hormones, and preservatives, and
perfect example.
Pesticides.
Look right. I'm not going to say the name of the place because this is going on public, but look directly that way from my house. The big old light in the sky. Who grow the red fruit vegetables.
Right.
Yeah, you ever seen how they grow those?
Wink, wink.
They plant them in a prepackaged bag of fake shit, and then just add water, and then they're this big and
full of hormones.
Have you seen these the people posting videos of like the rubber bananas and stuff or watermelon? I mean, it's scary. The genetically modified food is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
realize
anything.
food is it's scary. It's very extremely scary. If you can't grow it or kill it, don't eat it. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's funny because I did a paleo diet years and years ago, and honestly, that's the best I ever felt.
That's the best.
Right.
That's honestly the best diet
Yeah.
you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe.
I believe
That's
so
fine.
too. I think
Yeah.
a balanced diet.
That's
of
when I feel my
everything
best.
yeah.
Yep.
So do you think, right, the combination of like onions, chicken, rice, and like honey mustard and maybe bacon bits?
Oh, that's
and
like perfect, dude. That's like the best
The best thing you could eat.
Yes.
I just
Throw in
want
a fruit smoothie.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
worried about is there parasites in that?
As long
do
as
you
I
guys
don't
get
make
parasites
it,
from
you know?
that?
No.
No,
Absolutely not.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We wash all of ours with like rice with alkaline 5, all of our lettuce, all that type of stuff. So,
Yeah, we kill all the
really?
parasites
yeah,
on
yeah,
this.
it's
Oh,
alkaline
shit.
5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really? No
And
shit.
plus, onions are one of your best prebiotics you can get.
Really? I know that.
Yeah, onions are a very good prebiotic. Prebiotics basically feed your probiotics.
Do you
That's what
think
they do.
alcohol kills parasites?
No, it feeds them.
Feeds it.
They love them. They love that.
You're
Yeah.
definitely full of them then. You're 98%
Well,
alcohol.
Bush Light does.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Just Bush Light.
What is it? Colby 413 Bush Light strengthens me through all things.
Right. Yeah.
I wrote it up there.
Yeah. Right.
So is there
that's
anything that you guys will do? So when you're taking this, the killer stuff, right? Is there any, like, how do you feel when you're doing it? Like if somebody was to start doing it today, what can they expect? Like, I guess side effects, or if they're going to feel kind of like, oh,
Most people actually feel pretty decent. Sometimes you will be like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to go. If you are infested like she was, I tell them that you can feel fluish a little bit. It's just everyone is so different on it.
Yeah.
But those are a few of them. You can feel fluish. You can, I got to go to the shitter now.
Not like you're gonna shit. Like
No,
that's
it's not like
everybody's
that.
worried. Am I gonna shit my pants? So I have to sit in the toilet. It's not like that. You get a warning.
Yeah,
you know.
you're
good.
But you get like a little. It's like a flu.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like, okay, I got to find one
But
here.
I think
Yeah.
almost
10
every
minutes.
Get that gurgle.
person,
Yes.
every person has told us that their gut was
After
feeling
they're
better.
done, their
Yeah.
gut always feels better. They're going
their
better.
bathroom, Their hair and skin feels better. Bloating. A lot of people that are dealing with bloat went down.
And that's one thing, like with my whole weight loss thing, whatever the shit I'm doing, like trying to get healthy stuff. That's like one of the things that I've learned about is gut health is like one of the main things that's
thing,
fucking
Controls fucking everything.
Yeah.
Is your second brain. And it does
Yeah.
control almost everything. It's mind blowing.
It's crazy.
All the
Yeah.
neurotransmitters in your gut to it's the microbiome that makes it up. And everyone, what's weird is that your gut's different. My gut, what
Yeah.
makes it up? Just genetically wise. And so there's a lot of different things you can do with that to figure out what it is, what you need. But it's very complex.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
It is.
Very
Yeah, it
interesting.
is.
Well, being bloated. I mean, we've all been bloated. That's like the most miserable feeling to me ever.
Yeah.
And years ago, didn't even have the gyms, but I was bloated. I'd be bloated for 2 days, and I'd be okay and bloated. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And I'd go to the doctor. They test me for celiac, blah, 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 and found no answers. And then I started just actually cleaning my diet up and getting sugar out of it. And
And that was it.
that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
I thought I had parasites too back then, but
But it's so good.
I know it's so good.
Sugar.
There are healthier options,
Right.
Like I make really good cookies at the gym.
yeah, you do you use the
yeah.
coconut sugar.
Yeah.
I have a huge sweet tooth, so that's one thing that
Yeah.
I didn't want to, but I just adapt everything and make
Yeah.
make healthy sweets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was having a lot of bloating. There was a point where I'd take a drink of water, just one swallow of water, and it's like,
Yep.
I'm like, I can't eat nothing. I can't drink anything
And you
else.
can't breathe right when you're bloated.
Yeah,
You
it's,
just,
I just want to lay back and
Yes.
do nothing.
yeah,
I would
absolutely.
really look into it because you sound a lot like that's a lot of the symptoms that I had. you
Oh,
know.
yeah,
It
yeah.
Just, the water drinking.
We'll work out if you guys want to do the parasite cleanse. I'll work out a really good deal with you.
Yeah,
I would absolutely love to.
I definitely
love to.
do. Because
I mean,
I've been going through a lot of shit for the past year and a half with fucking.
Can I do the pressure washer vac on your butt?
Well, we can do a live
Yeah, I'm thinking about
podcast
getting one,
from
honestly.
That's a good
colonic,
idea.
You
Yeah.
know, we can do a live video from the colonic. You guys getting colonics would be
Oh,
Definitely.
great. Yeah.
You're
thing
talking to the right guy. Exactly. We will absolutely.
That
Sarah
would come
would love
out
you
of my
guys.
ass.
That was already in my mind.
Is that
I
a
was
Hot
thinking
Wheels
about-
car?
When we brought it up earlier, I was like, "Oh, we got a GoPro right over there. We could just mount it right to the ass end right there
Yeah.
and get a shot.
Yeah.
A little slow mo.
Oh, you're trying to go like
Yeah.
Right.
It's
We gotta
actually
see.
really cool. I've had a lot of them done, and it's really interesting to see the stuff
yeah.
that's in your
We
body.
didn't
Like,
see no Hot Wheels though.
no.
Oh yeah.
I tell you right now, Jake, if you get one for one of the gym facilities,
You'd be first. in
we
line.
will make a promotional video for it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. I've been thinking about it honestly, but I'm thinking, man, do I want to? I know who's going to be working it the whole time is me. And do I want to stick things in people's ass all day long? And because there are horror stories with this.
Yeah.
I mean, she tells me, hey, this isn't all fun and games.
Yeah.
This isn't all good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's explosions on the table. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of nurses and shit deal with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Yeah, you find somebody.
That wants
Yeah,
it.
because they're the only place in Iowa. And what's really weird is Jack told me that they shut them down. You got to go to a doctor to get them done in Texas now. There used to be colonic stations, like he said, all over down there.
Really?
Yeah, they passed the law. I'm like, well, how corrupt is that?
Yeah.
All it is water.
Yeah.
Right.
You're using water in your ass. That's it. There's nothing else. And they would ban those, which was.
Has anybody had like any adverse? Has anybody died from the procedure or anything? Like
I don't think so. I've never heard nothing. I never heard Sarah say there was.
that would have to be some sort of extreme circumstances or something
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah, 'cause it's just. I mean,
Well, they don't let guys like me run them, so it's probably
Yeah.
Let's see how full we can get. Yeah. Well, that's another thing too with we didn't say that the colonoscopies. I had 2 colonoscopies and a scope, and they never said a word to me, and I'm like literally full of parasites. They had
to see the rope worm. They had to see that. Like I said, they did 2 of them, and basically, if you can read about it too. They're not required to report on anything. They will. That's another couple things I'll get into. They're not required to report on. They're looking for diverticulitis, polyps, those types of things.
Yeah. So they're only reporting what.
Yeah.
They're looking
Yeah,
for
they're
specific.
looking for- yeah.
They're looking for specific, and they're only going to say
Yes.
Yep.
That's what they do. And then
just a little bit
couple
like
that's-
the little
that's
vaccine. I
shitty.
think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, everybody's got it now, but
Yeah.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah,
we can
but-
get
Yeah, for real.
But we had 2 doctors tell us that. So if you go in and do a stool sample, right, where they're going to test everything and see if you got parasites, that one doctor had actually the lady was shitting worms,
Live
on
worms
on
in
the
her
stool
stool.
sample. But they have the threshold set so high to say that they have parasites that it came back negative.
That's
No shit.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a doctor telling us.
And a lot of people
Yes.
ask us, well, should I go get
No
tested?
shit.
And it's
Yes.
honestly not worth the money. By the time you get your stool sample, you've
Yeah.
got a parasite con. So, and I had one done. Jack had me do one, and he did a really in-depth one and found the.
Yeah, it's called a comprehensive stool
Comprehensive
sample.
stool
It's in
sample.
Chicago, but yeah, she just got her results back, and she had just one everything-
Microscopic one.
one
left.
pathogen left in there that they're trying to get rid of right now. But
Huh.
That's good then.
Yeah, no, it's really,
that
good.
was really
news.
good.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
So-
thinking about having one done. Just curiosity, you know. I just-
Right? Yeah.
Well, they test all sorts of stuff, like how my pre and probiotics are looking, my minerals, and it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Maybe like a whole gut health
Whole
panel,
gut health
yeah.
panel.
panel,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you. Well, you told me to ask you when we first talked about setting this up to explain a mother tapeworm.
A mother tapeworm, yeah. So mother tapeworm she's the king, she's the queen, whatever you want to call her. But basically,
She's a bad bitch.
she's a bad bitch. And, basically, yeah, she's in there, and they can communicate with the other eggs in there when to hatch and not to hatch. And so she's usually the only one in there if it's a tapeworm. And if she gets killed or she knows she's going to die or whatever, she sends out notification, right,
Yeah.
for the rest to start hatching.
Oh
No shit.
Yeah, they communicate. Jack told me they're very smart. They're very tricky, and it's weird. It's like a whole different world if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like
it's-
an alien world.
Yeah, it's like an alien world that's living in us.
And they
that's what I'm
hide,
thinking.
and they
hide.
when you try to kill them, they'll hide, and that's
Well,
why you have to do the longer,
They create a biofilm around them. That's to protect them, is what they do. And so that a couple of different products that we take, it actually breaks that biofilm down as well, which makes them more vulnerable.
So is that what those shells were?
Those were
in that
those were
picture?
like casings that casings.
So they hide in that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's like how many different parasites is there?
Thousands
There's like
that they know of.
thousands
Yeah.
of different parasites. And
Holy fuck.
there's 4 levels of them. There's bloodborne ones that you can't see that are microscopic. There's so many different ones. I had no idea. I really did. I just remember like deworming my horse and my dogs and cats. When I was little.
Yeah. Well, you got, the dewormer, then you got the heartworm
Yes.
for like your dogs.
for more parasites.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's other parasites in your heart. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a whole different world that's living in us.
That's weird.
That's quiet that you don't know.
Yeah. It almost makes you feel like, what if we're parasites inside something?
Oh,
Right, yeah, I know. That's universe. That's universe right there. Like, what?
Need to be high for this conversation.
So what is bushlight?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Good. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, that's the thing too. Jack told us, because we were like, how come you not feel them like attaching to your intestines? But they have like this little stuff that they shoot out that numbs the area before they attach.
Oh, like a leech. You can put a leech
yeah.
on your finger and you
Right.
won't feel it.
Yes, same
Well,
thing.
mosquitoes actually have the same thing.
Yeah, but you can feel a mosquito eventually.
The numbing agent that a mosquito uses apparently only numbs long enough for them to get through your skin. And then once they start sucking your blood, it goes away, and then you feel
The piercing.
Mosquitoes transfer parasites.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's how you get the botfly eggs. You ever seen those?
Yeah. Yep.
Fucking weirdest
It's
thing I've
all
ever
over.
seen.
botflies are a parasite. Botfly eggs?
I don't think they're a parasite.
yeah,
Like,
they feed off of you.
yeah, but
Well,
they don't
they
live. They don't live on you. They grow out of you and then they hatch and they go do whatever the fuck botflies.
The larva, though.
Yeah, but they're not.
Actually,
Actually, they're not. I don't think they're
He's
parasites.
trying to grow his brain now. Yeah.
let me act smart for a fucking second.
They don't.
okay?
They don't live inside you.
Right.
They don't need you.
Yeah, but we're trying to be informational here. And you're just like, no, this is it. This is
Colby says. Yeah.
Yes.
You talked about citing our source or putting some sources on the link there.
Yeah.
Colby.
That's all we need.
That's all we
Yep.
need.
Yep. That is what we need.
Fucking, I had a question too, and I totally.
Oh, did I fuck it up?
So obviously,
Brain fog, parasites.
obviously with a lot of this,
Yep, it is.
you're gonna have some like naysayers and like non-believers and stuff. Have you ran into anybody that's just like, no, that's not, or is this kind of the first that you're really?
Well, yeah, they'll either be in denial. Otherwise, it's basically two ways. They're like, "Holy shit, I want to take care of this."
Yeah.
I mean, when they see the pictures. Otherwise, they're like, "Well, I feel okay. I don't have them.
I'm clean.
Yeah.
I'm clean. I can't have the worms. I can't have the parasites."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I'm not going what through you went through,
Yes,
so I don't
have them.
yes, I'm not sick yet. And like I said, they just haven't become a good enough host to start to get sick.
Their
But
bucket's not full yet.
yeah, well,
You know?
pretty soon they're going to go to the doctor because their gut's not working right, and they're going to go, "I got IBS, you got Crohn's, you got an autoimmune, you got." That's what's going to happen. Guaranteed, 100%. And it's.
And hopefully they'll remember talking to us, and maybe we can save them some time and
But
pain.
they don't. They just rely on their doctors.
Yeah.
They just rely on it, and they think of them as gods, and it's very frustrating. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying that you got to take your health into your own hands. and
Yeah,
absolutely.
You got to research and connect with people that know what they're doing, because there's some very smart people that aren't doctors out there that
And I think that's part of the culture here too. Is like you're kind of raised that way almost.
Absolutely.
You're born into the system where it's like doctors know their shit. Put the trust in the science,
Yes.
whatever and
yeah,
and it sucks.
they
but,
put them on a pedestal, and and
and they make it feel like you don't know what you're doing. You can't. There's no way you could figure this out on your own. Whatever.
they make you feel dumb, and they pressure you. They'll pressure you. It's I don't know. I mean, not saying. I mean, there's a lot of good doctors out there. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, sure.
That that transplant hearts, that do these wonderful things.
Yeah.
Break that. But if you're going in because you don't feel good, your gut's not working right, your thyroid numbers are bad. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. I've seen it. It's you're in a loop that you're not going to get out of, and you're going to get sicker. I about 100% guarantee it. They might mask the problems for a little bit,
Yeah.
but they're not finding the root cause of what's causing it.
Well, and it's funny. Like I've been to the doctor maybe once in the last 15 years. I just don't go.
Right.
And you see people that are religiously going to the doctor, and all of a sudden now they have this, then they have this, then they have this. I don't have anything.
Well, that's
Granted, I've never been told I've had this, but
But you feel okay.
Yeah,
Feel okay.
I feel fine. There's some things that I definitely, this interests me, the parasite thing, like
Right.
potentially could be,
But that's kind of like my thing. Jesus, like in the past year and a half, whatever it's been, I've been to the doctor probably more in the past year and a half than I have in my entire life prior to. Because I never went to the doctor.
Right.
Hated going to the doctor.
Yeah.
But the last year and a half, I feel like a hypochondriac almost. Because like, fuck, what's this? What's this? What's this?
Yeah. Well, you start to worry, you know, because you see all these things that are happening to people, you know, and it's like,
oh yeah,
feel these different aches and pain, like your heart, you know, all this type of stuff. But your heart, I can, you know, that's what I healed myself from was AFib. So I got a lot of tricks for that we can talk about.
Yeah. Well, see, so I went to the.
I think that's what is going on with him. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not a really smart guy.
But yeah, you are.
Everything he has described to me sounds like some sort of an AFib going on.
Well,
and it hits him randomly, and he gets a little dizzy. And
then you get really tired.
And
well, so I'm tired all the time, so it's hard to tell. But I do get dizzy, and I think this is 100% stress, anxiety related.
I bet it is.
Because like tonight, so I've been having some beers, we've been conversating, and I've been in the zone. Haven't felt one single fucking palpitation or whatever. Well, there goes one.
Stop by the gym. I'll give you a week. I'll give you a week's worth of oil to take to regulate. That's what actually healed my AFib. Was our hemp oil. Honestly, it basically just is a regulatory, balances your systems, endocrine, oxidation, nervous, adrenal, brings them to a balance. What happened to me is I stressed my vagus nerve so much, which is your longest running nerve throughout your body, from all that extreme weight that it threw my nervous system off. My sympathetic and parasympathetic, it threw that way off, which led to my AFib.
Which real quick, you should tell everybody what you're talking about with.
Before you do that, I want to ask, do you think that has to do a lot with like holding your breath and shit a lot, because it changes like your oxygen and all that kind of shit?
Well, yeah, when I lifted, I had to hold my breath throughout the full lift.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I totally think it was partly related to that. For sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
So I was just gonna say, so that for people that don't know who Jake is, I would just explain what your lifting background
Brag about
is.
yourself.
Oh, brag.
Yeah.
Brag about I love doing that.
That way everybody knows, where you come from and how
driven,
why you needed to learn this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not like you're just somebody. That's,
well, no, my background's powerlifting. I'd always, I'd love bench pressing since I've been like a tiny little boy. I bought my first bench press when I was probably second grade, and I bench pressed every day. And I just always loved that lift and working out, but especially the bench press. And so over the years, I just kept going and going and going. And when I was in like seventh or eighth, or I think my first lifting competition was 7th or 8th grade, my buddy took me to it, and I'm like, I like this. And so I lifted raw for all this time with no bench shirt or no nothing. And so went to competitions, and I basically got bored lifting raw. I got to like a 550 pound bench press raw. It was hard to move up. I would go down, move up. And so I got introduced to equipped bench pressing, to where they were a shirt you put on to basically support your shoulders, is how they're originally designed. But it basically turned into a sport called equipped bench pressing, to where I have to figure this shirt out to get the most weight out of this shirt. And it's in a very extreme sport. I went from benching 500 in that to, when I was on top of the game, I was benching, I set 2 all-time world records in the bench press equipped. At 220 pound weight class was 909 pound bench press. And then 242 was 925. And so, holding that weight all that time, that's where all the health issues started to come from, but I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't notice, but I did know in the back of my head, because after a tournament, that one morning I woke up and my eyes were black, and it looked like I just got the shit kicked out of me. And what it was I had blood vessels blow so far back into my brain or in my head that in the morning all that blood seeped out. And that was kind of an eye opener for me. And I was like, man, this pressure. I was watching my videos after all those years, and I was seeing like the veins in my face and my elbows and everything. And, I didn't want to do that. I thought, man, I got 2 kids, something's bad going to happen here.
Yeah.
And so I basically kind of stepped away from powerlifting at that point. That was 2015. And I just had to get away. And once I got away, it was like, okay, I got some health issues here. AFib. There's some things going on here. I can't feel my elbows. My body was just pretty much in bad shape. And so that's what I tried to do, is I tried to heal myself. And so I started, I went to a biohacking week, and 2017 with Anthony DiClemente down in Chicago. I got, Andrew Huberman, I wrestled him on the beach. He was in my class. There's a lot of cool people down there that I just learned a lot about a lot of different things to heal yourself and how to do it mentally and physically. And then, opening the gyms, I just became extremely passionate about helping people to heal themselves, no matter what they had. It could be a broken leg, it could be severe anxiety, depression, a backache, to whatever. And what I really found was that actually filled me. You know what I mean? That's what I really felt was my calling, was to go through that lifting, do all that stuff, but then to basically try to help people to heal themselves. And but I had to heal myself first.
Yeah.
And so that's where that's what I've been doing. After stepping away, I still work out every day, of course. But
give me a shot, because I walked the walk. I did it on myself. Let me do what I did to myself to you. That makes sense.
Yeah, and this makes me happy. And there's nothing better than seeing someone come in with pain and you can take it away. Their life is like, their eyes, they just come back like totally different,
There's been people that have, like that guy that could barely walk into the gym, and he was bent over, and he was in so much pain, and now he comes in just dancing, and just so grateful.
And that's what we're here for, to be honest, not to get like that with you, but we're all here to serve each other. That's our main purpose here. That's why we're incarnated here, is to serve each other and help each other.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Absolutely.
And that's what I feel. And that's what we try to reach out and get to people. And she was just pretty extreme. I couldn't figure her out,
Mind-boggling. Like things big.
Which is, a huge blessing, though, that, you were on the track that you were on. When that happened to you, and you guys just happened to be
what are the odds
on the same path
cross
together.
paths.
I know.
Think about if you guys were in totally two different realms.
Yep.
Where would you be right
She
now?
would be
I would be dead.
And that's the thing. Like,
if I hadn't been doing all the stuff that I've been doing for the last 5-6 years, I would be.
You would have developed cancer by now, and it would have been you would have been dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only dead, it would have been, you don't know about the parasites either. It would have just been like, you're dead from this cancer or from this disease,
and then nothing would.
Where did this disease stem from?
Don't
know.
Which
is 1,000% why when you first brought this up to us, it was like, fuck yeah. Let's make the video. Let's do it. We'll figure it out. We'll sit down. Let's get it out there.
And that's why I did. We want to get this out to people. You know what I mean? And just, if we save one person, that's one. That's how I say. If I help one person, that's better than none.
Which, like we talked about a couple times already tonight, there's people that are going to be non-believers. There's people that are going to go, holy shit, I want every piece of information you have.
Yeah.
And if we can get it out there through social media, and
I've really worked on the non-believer types of things that used to bother me a lot. And then I got taught by a lot of way smarter people than me, is that you just let them go. It does not matter. They don't matter. And I'd be like, why are you so dumb? Why don't you get this? And it just like bothered me. I mean, I'd go home and think like, wow, am I saying it wrong to them, or what am I doing? And I had to look at it and had people tell me, it's not you.
No,
it's not you. They're not ready. And you're not going to make them ready. And so that's, once I started to realize that, I'm like, oh, that took a lot of pressure off me, and a lot of anger and a lot of things. And I just, hey, it's your life.
Everybody thinks that everybody is out there to scam somebody.
They do.
Basically.
It's sad, because that's the world that we're getting to.
We're not getting to. We're there.
We're there.
That's
I agree.
the world that we've gotten to. And it's crazy, because, when we were all younger kids and shit, like the days of playing football on the street on South 13th.
Yeah.
Me and Amy used to live down the street from each other. She saw me grow up as a
He
little
was
kid.
just a little boy.
She moved away pretty quick, didn't she? Yeah.
Gotta get the fuck out of here.
This guy's gonna be a creeper. I know it.
100%.
Good Colby stories.
But even though like those days, like it wasn't nowhere near as bad as it is now.
No.
And that wasn't that long ago.
No,
we're not
getting
that
back to
old.
that. We've had this conversation a lot. I'll see someone that on social media that's sick, and I used to reach out to them like, "Hey, I can help you," but they think I'm after their money. They really do. I don't give a fuck about your money. I really don't care.
No.
Yeah.
Like
We're not in this for the money.
The
at
richest
all.
people I've been around a lot of rich people. They're the most unhappy, unhealthy people that I've ever seen, and it means nothing to me. I mean, of course, it's important. Don't get me wrong. We all need money to survive and live.
Right.
But
Well, in order to
doesn't
keep
drive
doing it
me.
and helping people,
Yes.
you got to have it.
yeah,
You know,
it just
you got
doesn't drive me though.
The
That
people
doesn't drive me.
the people that truly enjoy having money are the people that are using it to continue to do what they're doing.
Right.
That's
And
good.
be good
Yeah.
at what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, that's what
The
we
same
run into
people.
that a lot with the cannabis, with our hemp company.
Which
It's
I
like,
want you to talk
Yes,
about.
I was going to say the same thing. I want to,
You know,
want to
bring-
hear about that a little bit.
Bring that up. Let everybody know what you guys are doing with that.
Because I'm curious for one, because I've seen like the CBD,
Didn't mean to
in your
interrupt you, Amy.
oh, you're fine.
in your smoothies and stuff, and I've been meaning to get
Right.
one, but I haven't yet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
so that kind of feels in with the story with me lifting. I developed AFib, and so I was pretty lost. I was going to AFib every 4 to 5 days, staying into AFib about 12 to 18 hours. And so my heart would be like, boom, boom, pause for 2 seconds, boom, 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 pause, and this would go on. And I mean, it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
You take your heart for granted until it doesn't work right.
Right.
And, I went to several doctors. They wanted to put me on beta blockers. They wanted to do an ablation. They just wanted to do all this stuff. And my intuition, my heart said, there's another answer. And so I started researching hemp oil, CBD oil. And it was weird. At that time, a guy I graduated with, Travis Carlson, he was doing the accounting for Cole Stegman, who owned a full spectrum hemp oil company in Ankeny. And so he knew I was holistic. And so he brought Cole up. And I met with him, and Cole gave me a bottle of his 25 milligram hemp oil capsules, full spectrum. And I didn't tell nobody. I didn't say nothing. I just started taking one morning and night like he told me to do. And didn't change nothing. My heart never went back out of rhythm. And I thought, okay, this is weird. After about 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, what's happening? It stayed in rhythm for what, 5-6 years now?
Mm-hmm.
It's been that. But after about 3 to 4 months, I became extremely curious. I'm a why person. Like, how did this fix my body? What did it do? Something happened in there. And so I started to research and study this plant, the hemp and cannabis plant. I would listen to every Dr. Ethan Russo. He's the top leading cannabis expert in the world by far. I listened to every one of his podcast episodes trying to learn how this plant worked and what it did. And so Cole had seen my passion for this because I was going around trying to heal everybody. I mean, I was all over, I'm like, shit, fix my heart, dude. I'll fix it. It's like, I can fix any problem. And I started learning about it. And he goes, man, Dan, you're passionate about this. I go, this is the best shit ever. I love this. This is my calling. And so he goes, well, I want you to be part of my company. And so I thought, well, I'm a little hillbilly that grew up in a trailer house outside of Plymouth, Iowa. I go, I probably know that means investing a lot of money, and which it did. But I thought about it. He actually flew me out to Colorado to see where our genetics are growing at, where the farmers to the dilution to everything. And I'm like, okay, hell yeah, I'm in. And so that's what I did is I invested with him. And then, kept going to the company. We traveled the United States, and we were speaking on it because it helped her so much too. So we'd go do seminars all over the United States to different places, telling our stories and explaining how this works. And so that's how Zaka Life was going. It's still going. But what we ended up doing is creating our own white labeled brand off of the parent company of Zaka Life. That's what we call Hepicated and Dedicated. And so that's kind of how that got started. And so, yeah, we do a lot with hemp oil. I could do a whole nother podcast on how it works and all that type of stuff. It's basically a regulatory system.
Well,
of
let's
every
do it.
system in your body.
Let's do it.
I'd be more than
It's a
happy
good
to.
one,
Yeah. But
Well, it got me off 9 prescriptions. That's kind of how this all started. I was on a lot of.
she's on 9 prescriptions, and hemp oil
Antidepressants and that
basically,
kind of stuff, and,
we
yeah.
weaned her off all of her medication. And, we started playing with hemp oil, balancing her body, and that's how we got her off. So that's part of her story. She tells her liver, it regulated her kidneys
Yep.
from kidney failure to
Wow.
was better. We have so many stories. But
Same.
like I said, this industry is extremely dirty.
Oh yeah.
It's so dirty. It's one of the dirtiest industries ever. And that's why for us to go speak at these places, knowing that we have the best oil out there. I've not found one oil that compares to our genetics with what we plant into the ground to start. And then also the way that our guys get the oil out of the plant. Most people, they'll grow a plant, right? You've heard of the words CBD and THC.
Yeah.
That's all most people haven't heard about CBG, CBN, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids, all the other cannabinoids in the plant. So these companies know that they're going to take the plant, take some sort of solvent, extract just CBD out of the plant, right? Put it into a bottle, do whatever they got to do, and then give it to you. The problem is they only took part of the plant. They changed the structure of the way that plant was grown in nature, right? And then you've lost all the health benefits, pretty much all the health benefits of the plant.
Yeah.
And so you want to keep that, you grow the plant, you want to keep that plant intact. That's where you're going to get what you call the entourage effect, where the flavonoids, cannabinoids, and terpenes are all working together to give us that effect. And that's where it'll start to regulate all your different systems in your body. So your endocannabinoid system is your watchguard system over all your other systems in your body, right? And those systems balance by what we call endocannabinoids. And so we have endogenous ones, endo, right, that we make naturally, that are naturally occurring, but anandamide, 2-AG, there's just a bunch of them, but we become deficient on those. And so when we become deficient on those ones that we naturally get, the only way to get more is to ingest them. And so cannabinoids are in breast milk, black peppercorn, they're all over the place, but the widest array is in the hemp and cannabis plant. And so when we ingest those cannabinoids in, it's going to go, oh, you're low here. Oh, I'm low over here. And it's going to start to regulate that. And then when your body starts to regulate and gets in balance or homeostasis, that's when we can heal ourselves. And so that's what we used to do. We used to heal so many people. And that's why we tried so many different genetics with her. You know, that's why we got so confused, because we were doing everything. But we weren't finding the root cause. There was an underlying root cause that I didn't get to. And that was
Find the problem.
That's a parasite.
Eliminate the problem.
Yep.
Heal the problem.
Heal the problem. Yep.
Man,
Yeah.
I wish this was like 15 years ago that we were sitting having this.
Yeah.
Just everything you've explained, the AFib. You know, my dad has been sick for the last 15 years probably.
Right.
You know, he had a rare kidney disease.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically got him to the point where if he had another week of not taking care of himself, he would have been dead.
Right.
Ended up dialysis 3 days a week, got a kidney transplant, this and that. And then just recently when his heart was AFib, and, you know, he was building up with a bunch of fluid.
Right.
Went to the doctor, just like we talked about earlier. Went to the doctor. Every process took month and a half. Oh, you drive down here, you go to Ames 2 hours away, and we're just going to read the labs to you. And then, or we don't have the labs yet.
We don't have them.
Just checking.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, I could tell. We were sitting down at breakfast one morning, and he stood up, and his leg was pressed up against the chair, and dead. I mean, just stayed there. And it was why. I mean, I told him, I was like, you got to go to the doctor. Like, it's time. Blah blah. But after all this, they gave him a water pill, get the fluid off.
Yep.
And everything came back. He's just fine. Doctor says, you're fine.
Right.
Nothing wrong with you.
you.
Nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's the same story over and over.
Yeah.
And I hear it almost daily. You know, it's just there. It's just what they do. You know, it's there's no root cause.
We actually have some nurses, like, there's been people will come in to buy our hemp oil, and they'll be like, yeah, I was at the doctor, and the nurse whispered, go see Jake and Amy at NIP, you know?
Yeah.
So
they
it's
have
around,
they have a heart. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of them have a heart. I actually broke I think he was a neurologist, brain surgeon guy at the East Gym. You know, I broke him down. Basically, he admitted to me that he doesn't like to do what he does to people, but that's how he makes a living. And if he doesn't, he gets fired. With the prescriptions and all that type of stuff.
Right.
You know, he started crying. You know, it is fucked.
It's fucked. They get into
you know,
it
and
to
they put
help
them in
people.
that. You know, I'm good at empathy. I try to put myself in everyone's shoes, and they're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to feed their family.
Yeah.
But there's been how many different doctors now that just give up their right to practice because they can't do it no more to people.
Well,
They're done.
And they don't realize it. They go through all that school and get all that training and stuff, and don't realize it until you actually get into the industry.
Yep.
Until you actually start working.
they're already
Now you're $150,000 in debt,
Yeah,
student
then what do you
loans,
do?
and then now what? This is what I practiced for the last 12, 15 years.
Yep.
Yep.
Studied for, and now
I don't blame the doctors completely.
Yeah.
You know, what I do blame them on is their ego, because a lot of them do have egos, and you know, the goal of everyone in their life is to lose their ego.
Right.
You know, that's what we all need to work on forever. You know, and a lot of them have become there's a lot of good ones, but there's a lot of very egotistic ones that think they're above you, that pressure people into doing things that they don't want to do. And they're power.
Yeah.
This is what it is. And it's sad, but
Yeah.
so that's kind of the hemp oil. You know, that's
Yeah.
in a nutshell, that's where we ended up with that and what we're doing with it still. And so we do put it in smoothie. We do a lot of things with it. And it's one of our I guess one of our staples of healing people is getting them back.
Yeah, and I don't think, honestly, I don't think I've ever talked to you or asked you, you know, like the details behind it and like what you're doing with it. I've always known, you know, like that's what you're doing and what you're involved in, and but I've never actually,
For the
ask a
backstory?
question like, what is what are you?
How do you
doing
get there?
with it?
Well, you can kind of see like the medicinal properties to this kind of, like I've seen videos of people with Parkinson's and shit, and then it will considerably reduce their tremors and shit, so they can actually live normal lives. And
I actually took a Parkinson guy. Remember right when we first opened, he took one of our 50 milligrams. She come back bawling. His shaking had stopped.
no shit.
That was 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of our 50 milligram capsules, and it was like mind blowing.
See, it's fun crazy.
And pain, like arthritis, and it's just we have story after story of.
It helps.
We were
tremendously
actually
with
going to
pain.
start a podcast to like have all those people come on and tell their stories because
medicated, not medicated.
yeah.
Yeah, but it helps with pain so much as well. There's it's a
Anxiety.
miracle plant. It really is.
Yeah.
And people they abuse anything. You know what I mean? And most people are after to get high. I don't like to be high. I like the medicinal properties. I want, most of these genetics that these cannabis growers grow they're getting it for super high THC because the majority of the people are after high THC. They build a tolerance to it and they need to be higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
And so, but there's not, I want a wide range of everything in that plant that are going to heal you.
Yeah.
And that's what we got our hands on. That's what's really nice.
Which
Which is probably why they don't want to legalize that shit everywhere.
They can't patent a plant.
Yeah.
They can't say that plant's mine.
Yeah.
They can just bastardize it, and that's why they hate it.
Yeah.
Can't say the hemp plant's mine. No, it's not yours.
So you guys,
Plus, it'll kill
have
pharmaceutical companies.
Yes.
you guys have a full website and everything set up for everything,
Yeah.
right?
Well, not for the Parasite, just for our hemp company.
For hemp,
Yeah.
which we'll get that from you so that we can tag it in this video as well.
Sure.
That way, if you guys want to check out any of the products, also if you need, I'm sure you have contact info listed on this.
Yeah,
dude.
like I said,
If you have any questions.
I give my number out. I don't really care. If anybody needs help with anything, we're open books. We love to help people. So feel free to reach out.
We'll tag that in tag that in this episode too, so that you guys can go to their page, their website, find everything that we're talking about today too. So
Guarantee 98% of you at least have felt some sort of symptoms or something that where this shit can fucking help.
yes.
Yeah, just remember you do have parasites.
You have
100%.
Yeah.
You have parasites.
You have
Are they affecting you right now? Maybe not, but I guarantee they will.
Yeah.
That's just going to happen.
Just remember, you have parasites and they're fucking inside of you. Right
now.
Right now.
There's an orgy going on inside
Parasite
you.
parties. Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
It's a big bad bitch.
We'll tag as much info as we can. We'll get with you guys after, and we'll get as much info as we can put in the description and in the video, so that there's links to everything, so that people can, if they don't know where to go, they can at least know where to ask the question.
Yeah, they can call us or do whatever because
And then
I don't have I don't have them products on the website. The hemp oil, that type of stuff we do.
Yeah.
I don't have I don't have an online store for our products throughout the gym. But, I ship all over.
Yeah. At least knowing where
Yeah.
to get the
Information.
information. That's
And if you listen to audio only, make sure to go watch this and look at some of the fucking pictures of the shit, because I'm going to put them up. Make sure to look at some of the pictures of the shit. Not the shit.
right here.
Not the actual shit.
Put
the shit.
Put a worm right between our faces.
The shit that's potentially going to come out of you.
Shit.
Because
Amy's shit.
if
Amy
that,
shit. My shit is going to be famous.
if that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Pictures make it all real.
if this doesn't open people's eyes, it's either going to open their eyes or not. If it's not, there's no help.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, it's
Live your life, I guess.
Yep.
And then
Well,
finish
I wasn't here for the initial meeting with you guys here, and I'm just.
I told you.
I'm blown away by it.
Right.
I'm very intrigued by it.
And I told you
I want
that.
to dive into it right now. I
know.
want to let's
Because
go.
when I was listening to you guys that day that you guys came over here, I was like, fuck, man, like this is gonna be great. I
got
great
parasites.
I got parasites.
no more.
I could not. I was entranced. Literally, I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a crazy story.
I was very
Yeah,
excited for this episode
I was too.
to listen to
Oh, we've been waiting,
all
biting
this.
our bits just to tell the story, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys
yeah.
coming with us and letting us
Oh, fuck.
you know.
we wanted to make sure that we were going to have everything ready and
Yeah,
it was
do
going to
it
be a
right.
good show for you guys. So,
And Colby fucked it up and shit wasn't ready.
dude, I was trying so hard on that camera too, man. You should have seen me. Jake walked in, he's like, what's that? I'm like, I'm trying to fix it.
Hey, as long as we're recording, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Shoot.
is there
Yeah,
anything? Is there anything on the topic of parasites that maybe we left out in the conversation that you want to be said, or you want people to hear or know? Anything that we missed? I'm sure there always is, but
shit.
Yeah.
I can't think.
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
I'm thinking nothing off the top of my head.
I got a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned a coffee enema.
Yeah.
What is that?
Talk about acid.
I wrote that in my notes.
We'll let Amy explain that one. She is a coffee enema expert.
I am a coffee enema expert.
Yes.
So basically, coffee enemas are a really good detox, and it's been used by I don't even know when they got popular, but basically, I brew coffee, and then I have a little enema bucket, and I just like shoot the coffee up my ass and hold it there for 15 minutes, and then I go to the bathroom.
you poured it hot.
Yeah, fresh off the pot.
No, you want it to be the same temperature as your body, because otherwise your body will, if it's too hot or
energy
too
to
cold,
reject it and
it'll
stuff.
reject it.
It'll get
Yep.
rid
But it's a really, really good detox.
Very
and
good
it's,
detox.
Yep.
So it's in a lot of cancer protocols.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Tons.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's coffee enemas.
I've heard that
But the only
before.
thing is that doesn't, it only, which I just found out when I started doing colonics, it just gets the small intestine. It doesn't hit the large intestine. So it is helping me, but it's not getting, that's why I still have to get colonics.
Well, it's not getting all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, like colonics push it down, then the enemas will kind of help cleanse everything.
cleanse
out.
it.
Yeah, your intestine goes down here like this, over and down, and
Yep.
enemas only get up over into this area. Colonics will get all the way up into way up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What if you do like a handstand? Wow.
I could try it.
I could try it.
Yeah, maybe, huh?
Yeah, that could be a whole
should-
episode itself.
Because
then-
I'll do a live enema.
Then we could build.
on video. I'm the poop girl now, so it's my official title.
Then we could build an actual like handstand device that you don't have to hold yourself up.
Yeah.
It
Right.
just holds
Hold you up.
Holds
and
you
then
up
you
and
do the enema
do
Yeah.
the enema.
So an inversion table.
Yeah, just an inversion table.
with a hole in the back.
right.
You
But it's a really
you
cheap.
could just
It's actually a
go
really
backwards.
cheap and easy way to kind of detox yourself. So,
So it's exactly what I was thinking when you mentioned it.
Yeah.
It's just shooting
Pour
coffee in
coffee
your
in your
ass.
butt.
yeah.
That's all it is.
I've known people who did it before, but they were super rich. So I was like, that's a rich person.
it's kind of bougie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any specific brand of coffee or
You have to get it's
Folgers.
there's organic enema coffee.
How
No
many
Folgers.
cups?
Colombia.
Oh, there's an actual.
There's actual enema.
Oh,
There's enema
really?
coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You want really clear. A lot of coffee is full of heavy metals.
right?
Yeah.
And so you don't want to introduce that more. So it's I can't. What one do you use?
It's got a kangaroo on it. It
Yeah.
just is. I just get off Amazon. It's enema coffee. It's like my enema bucket is probably like this big. I don't know how many cups it would be. Probably like 4 or 5 cups. Yeah. No, they can.
But very, very good detox.
Does
I
it
mean,
wake you up like?
It makes I
Right
do it in the
now?
morning.
Yeah, it'll give you
I do
energy.
that in a cold plunge in the morning, and it really like
You do that. So is that something you do every morning, or
right now because I'm trying to retrain my brain into going by itself. So I'm doing it like every other day right now.
okay?
So
your body will rely on it.
yeah,
So that's what this doctor is really getting her to, like, okay, your body can't rely on colonics and enemas, so but you can't get toxic. So there's this fine line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go 3 days without shitting because you're gonna get toxic and sick.
Yeah.
Right.
So slowly got to train that brain again while we heal and seal, and get that reconnected. But yeah,
It
that's
sounds
what she
like
has
a
to do
fight,
right
yeah.
now.
Which it's really crazy. I just thought of this. It's crazy that you bring that up. That like your mind and your body have to talk and communicate, because when you go to basic training for the first time,
Oh yeah.
when you get to basic training,
I got to piss. Sorry.
everything is a shock to the world, right? It's like going into a cold plunge.
yeah.
It just shocks the fuck out of your whole system,
Right.
because you're in a new environment. You're getting yelled at. Everything
scared.
is stressed to the max. You don't know what to expect, and most people don't shit for like a week
Because they're
at minimum.
ain't that weird?
It like we all look at each other after about a week and we're like, hey, did you take a shit?
Right.
No. Did you?
No.
And then all of a sudden you got these guys dropping teardrops that won't flush because
Because they've
they're
been
fucking
fucking
too
week
big.
long.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, but most everybody comes out of it.
Scared.
But,
Yeah.
but it's,
No, that's an interesting. That's interesting.
it's crazy because like that now that like that's what you're saying makes
Yes.
sense because the shock that's going on
the
up
mind
here
is controlling that.
is fucking all this up.
fucking it
A
all
lot
up.
of it is like, and that's what we've realized too, is like a lot of people with childhood trauma have these like
Right.
constipation and pooping issues because they were traumatized. I don't know what
So
it does,
when
but
it's
something
in her intake form
Yeah.
was very, you know, with Jack, it was very intense. I mean, he wanted to know childhood trauma. I mean, everything.
what makes you angry. What,
yes.
yeah.
And he was connecting all this, and that's how he puts together protocols and plans for people.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I've never seen an intake form like that.
yeah.
Well, if you're gonna
But-
be the best in the world, that's how
He's he's definitely a good dude.
Yeah.
Good one to have on our side. Yeah, but come on here and talk about the universe. That'd be a fun one too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's all we do.
We can get some,
Yeah.
Honestly,
we can get
that's
some
what we
weird
do.
shit.
Yeah.
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 Conspiracies, man. I'm into them all. I know it all.
I love conspiracies. I love space talk. And
And
stuff.
this is-
I do too,
Flat
man.
Earth,
I look at the
Yeah.
stars at night and I'm like, fuck, I'll get mesmerized. Just like when I was a little boy, dude, and all my fucking mind goes into weird shit, you know, and then, but
I'm
we've been
fairly
doing a lot
certain
of,
I'm an alien, you know,
Yeah.
so that's
Well,
another.
that's like the are we living inside something?
Yeah.
Are we a parasite for something else?
Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
You never fucking know.
but we've
really.
been doing a lot of like past life type of things, like Dolores Cannon work, you know, talking about your subconscious, you know, we're looking at the subconscious and the conscious mind, how they correlate, how our subconscious mind holds all of our previous lives in this, our deja vus. That's why that's happened, you know.
Yeah.
So all that's what we do on our free time is read
Oh,
shit
fuck.
like that.
Well,
with
they
Dolores
say
Cannon.
too, like you know these things from your past life when you're really young, and then as you get older,
Yeah,
you start
start
to lose
them.
it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When you
and
when
which
you
makes
walk,
fucking perfect
It's-
sense.
when
it
you
all
walk
makes sense,
by
dude.
you walk by somebody in public in a place that you don't know anybody,
Yeah.
and you see someone and you're like,
know
I
that.
fucking know that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's like it's so cool.
And
I
it's
fucking love it.
Yeah.
The world is
yeah.
weird.
The world is
It's
weird.
way- I mean, yeah, it's like it's so intriguing to me because we're white people, you know, like us. I want to know the truth.
Yeah.
I want to know the exact truth of why we're here, what we're doing.
Yeah.
And like Dolores, you guys should look into Dolores Cannon's work, what she did. She come across that's quantum hypnosis healing technique. She was regressing or like basically hypnotizing people. Well, they started spitting out past lives, shit that you can't make up. I mean, the things they were saying, and then their subconscious would slowly trust her more. Then they'd go into these other lives. And I mean, she said she's wrote books about walking with Jesus to these people that bring back their past lives who have spent time with Jesus. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, that's-
these books are-
Nostradamus and
it really it fuck your head up, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but it's very true to me. It's like all this. It's like, wow, this
Everything
makes sense
makes
to me
sense.
now.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
good shit.
You know, it's like,
though.
oh, this makes sense. This makes sense, and it just rings true.
Yeah.
And that's a good feeling.
Or you
Oh,
think
yeah.
of the weird stuff that you're into. Like he's obsessed with Israel, and like I love World War II, and it's just like, does that
Yeah.
mean that was I a medic in World War II or something like that?
I'm a World War II.
Guaranteed in a
Yes.
past
Yeah.
life, you probably died in World
Yeah.
War II, or you had something to do with it.
I know so much shit about World
Yeah.
War II. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I used to, like my kid likes it too. And I remember when he was like 7 years old, he had this green toy and he would like play with this fucking green toy and it's imaginary. And he would always play that he was a medic in World War II. And the things that were coming out of this kid's mouth were like,
Yeah.
what the
Sure he was.
You were 100% like he was in that battlefield. And yeah.
I think I died on the Titanic too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm an absolute Titanic person.
He was
Yeah.
Rose.
Sure you did.
Yeah.
I did not doubt it.
I was Rose's girlfriend.
Right.
Delilah.
Delilah.
See you later.
What this was really kind of screwed up. It made sense to me too. Is Dolores, through her work regressions, basically said, like I always wondered, like a young kid that wanted to be a woman that, like they don't have to. They're not picking that. They're not. Why do they feel so much like that? And what she says under her work, under People Who Regressed, that they were probably a boy 6 times before in their lives, and now they're reincarnated as a girl.
Yeah.
And the subconscious part's coming through of all these boy stuff,
Right.
Which made a lot of sense to me.
That makes
Also,
awesome.
she says that so many souls want to incarnate as handicapped because you learn many more lessons by being handicapped in a lifetime. And that's about when we incarnate a lesson, we want to learn lessons in this life, right?
Yeah.
And so you learn the most when you struggle the most, or when you can have a boring, mundane life. I'm going to incarnate this time, but and she goes, that's why. And I was wondering, like, why can't I remember these? She said that's why if you basically, if you knew all the answers before you come down here, it wouldn't be a test. You wouldn't learn nothing. And then you'd be attached to all these previous lives, the karma, all the other stuff back then. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to refigure it out. And, if you think about it, you can tell old souls to young souls.
Oh yeah.
You can just definitely tell.
Yeah.
I just love her work.
It's me.
Colby, you're such an old soul.
You're an old soul.
Dude, I drive 30 mile an hour on a fucking 45.
So do I.
And I get mad at people. I'm like,
I know.
You son of a bitch!
I've got a whole thing of Werther's candies, and I'm staring down my pocket.
I'm surprised it offers you a Werther's.
My grandpa gives me them.
It's got strawberry fucking candies inside.
Oh, God. I didn't even know they still made those.
Oh yeah.
They don't.
Yeah,
they're just around.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
That's funny
Yeah.
shit.
We definitely should. We should go down the rabbit hole of.
Oh, I could.
We got some good
for sure.
rabbit holes.
We'll plan a time to go down the rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, everybody? With that being said, thank you, Jake. Thank you, Amy, for joining us.
Thanks for
on the
having us.
episode.
Seriously.
This is some detrimental information that everybody needs to fucking know. That's the right word.
That's a big word.
That's a
good
big
word.
fucking
Yeah,
word.
I got smarter.
Yes. That is a big word.
No, it is a big word.
It is a big word.
But is it the right word?
Yeah. Is it in the?
It's detrimental. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Detrimental if you don't treat your parasites.
That's exactly the right word.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Thank you.
everything you need to know is going to be tagged in the description of this video.
Yep.
All the links to everything we talked about tonight. You can go find everything that you want. So
Reach out at any time.
anytime. These
Anytime.
guys said
Yeah.
anytime. Reach them.
Speaking of so the website that we're going to give, they can contact you from there on that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I got just a website for the gym itself,
Yep.
and then we also have a website for the hemp company that we have.
Perfect.
Okay.
So
We'll tag them. Parasite.
We will tag those, and then if you want
Yeah.
to reach out, fucking reach out on those
Reach out,
websites.
Yeah.
Perfect.
yeah, we love to heal and help.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Heal his cough because holy fuck.
Yeah. Motherfucker. Well, with that, you guys.
love you guys.
See you next time when we love you.
Love you guys.
Fuck
you all.
No,
I was looking at Jeremy.
Still.
Till next time. Kayla,
Love you,
bye.
I was trying to tell you about that real shit, boy. Real shit, boy. Real shit, boy.
Been around, burn out, lower to the penthouse. Shotty's going crazy, then they quiet like a church mouse.